Well, I wonder if anybody might be able to provide us with a little bit of a recap of sorts for last session, because I have to admit, I am in like horrendous head cold, terrible headache range life right now, and my brain is not working as well as I would like to. Where did we finish off? Because I sort of feel like we were in the midst of you guys deciding to get some men at arms and all of this stuff, but you also had decided sort of what your plan of action is. So perhaps we'll take it now. We'll start this with the group of you at the Inn of the Welcome Wench. We'll say that Roland is, getting piss drunk, as Chris has requested, since he
Like
can't
you do.
necessarily be here. He's getting piss drunk. For the most part, you have a good relationship with pretty much everybody here, in town. And, that goes for the people who are here at the, Inn of the Welcome Wench. But it's interesting because over the last couple of weeks, less and less of Burns' men have been appearing in the Inn of the Welcome Wench, as what is becoming more and more of an official alternative watering hole has sprung up in the grounds around where the keep is being built on the south end of town. And a lot of those soldiers are sort of starting to hang out there. The Burns Badgers folks. And it's interesting because the people who you're sort of around right now in the Inn of the Welcome Wench, many of these folks who are locals here, like they've at least have known somebody who were, impacted by bandit raids, and some of Burns' Badgers are former bandits that he so-called reformed. But again, the locals aren't particularly happy about sort of sharing space in town, with these folks. So anyway, the tensions are just sort of continuing to build over that time. But maybe we want to just have like a getting back together scene here to sort of start, because everybody's been doing different things. I mean, I know that Gray Ash has learned some new spells, and perhaps he looks a little bit more impressive, but I don't know what it is. But David looks a little different to me tonight in the video. Maybe it's your hair or something. So perhaps David himself has leveled up or learned some new spells or something. But maybe we want to just start off there and see, like, we kind of
3 weeks in the library, it changes a man.
well, it's been 6 weeks,
Yeah,
right? Didn't you guys
so he's got book hair.
you spent 6 weeks there in town? It's been 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps we can get back together. How would you guys feel about a fun little role play scene here to start off, where we each tell a little story of something that our character did? Each of you tell a story of what your character, a small story about something your character did over the past 6 weeks. And you can kind of just make, the town pretty well. What do you guys think?
Well, JP has spent his days glad handing with the Burns Badgers militia, and his evenings spilling the tea with the townsfolk, because you never want the rabble to be against you. So he's doing a very good job of blending in with this new group who wants to take over, because obviously JP is the hero of the town. Everybody knows it. And that's about that. He's keeping himself ingratiated to the townsfolk, and he is making himself a fixture in Burns Badgers area, so that when he is around, nobody bats an eye.
Okay, make a charisma check for me, would you?
Okay. That is a 6. That is definitely a success.
All right, so you've done a fairly good job too
I know,
of not
I'm
making
capable
it
of
so obvious that you are playing both sides, I guess you might say.
Mhm.
Or if you are obvious, actually you can decide. Either you're making it so it's not obvious, or you're doing it in such a way that nobody thinks of you as the bad guy. And you can sort of decide, how you want to have people look at it. Maybe it's both. Maybe some
Mhm.
people view it one, maybe some people view it another way. Maybe there's even other options. But so far, um, you're sort of, espionage,
Yeah, I'm
essentially.
glad handing with Burns Badgers and spilling the tea to the townsfolk.
All right. That's great. Who wants to go next?
So you just talking over the last few weeks, basically
Yeah,
since kind of like the break. Okay.
Yeah, it's been 6 weeks now, so like,
All right.
it was a lot
So
of time where you guys were separated, you might say.
so Tuctrin is pretty much spending the majority of his time at the forge, redoing that armor. Because that takes a long time. And getting the old symbolism, symbology off the armor, whatever you want to call it, getting the new stuff on there. Making sure that it fits him correctly, because that's going to take a while. So that's the majority of what Tuctrin's been doing, but also asking around the rest of the townsfolk over the last few weeks. As I'm working in the forge, people are coming in to get things repaired or things made, if they had seen any of the other dwarves come through, because we found no evidence of them really in the moat house at all. So unless somehow they skipped the moat house and went right to the, wherever, just trying to see if anybody's heard anything, trying to get some rumors, but also trying to get some work done, making sure that all my gear is right. Basically, just being a dwarf, honestly, drinking and eating a lot, working a lot, maybe gotten a couple fights here and there.
So, let's see here. Good information gathering here. What do we
very paranoid about exits on places I sleep.
At least 2.
So using my
always
engineering
ground
skills,
floor,
right, and always trying to like engineer like a secret hatch if I can, a way to get out. Yeah.
And we can discuss more offline while we're not playing live. Unless you guys are really psyched to get into it, we can, if you want to really get into building the boathouse and doing all that stuff, we can spend a session to do that if you'd like. But we can also do that offline, because I know you're looking at maybe more permanent accommodations, but not necessarily like in town. So we can discuss that offline. But yeah, I'm trying to think here. Might be some good information gathering there. Well, first things first, let's talk about the armor. Because I think, you're rebranding the armor, and it's plate mail +1, right?
Yes.
Yeah, plate mail +1. So that's nice armor. Well, you're not going to fuck it up, but let's go ahead and do an armor check. Like, just adjusting it is not an armor check, but let's just say how good of a job you do at ridding yourself of the old stains and reimagining it in your new way.
Okay, sounds good. Let's see here, because this is was it an intelligence check? Yeah, I always hate that. Armoring is an intelligence check. Sure.
Yeah, that's dumb. I hate that.
No, I did not make it because
dude, I fucking hate that. That's so dumb.
I have a 9 intelligence, so I almost have a 50% chance, like a 40% chance to make it, I think.
45, yeah. So what did you roll?
I rolled a 12.
Okay. Dude, that's not really like a fail. I was just meaning like I was gonna give you a chance for something like really special.
Yeah,
but you do an adequate job.
Special.
You do an adequate job at it, and This
I'll
is
take it.
something we'll need to. I would love at some point to really go back over the proficiencies and reevaluate their connections. Some of them are just wacky to me. But anyway, because I can promise you that most of the weaponsmiths and armor smiths that you find in as NPCs in virtually every module are guys that have 18 strength, 18 something strength. They always do, and I guarantee you they don't have high wisdom and high intelligence or high wisdom. Guarantee
Well,
it.
yeah, I mean, I have the high wisdom. I just don't have the high intelligence.
Yeah,
Obviously.
but that's also because you're super specialized as like a specialty
Right.
priest. You know what I mean? But like these guys are just that are, they are armorers. They're not. They're just armorers. So anyway, in terms of the information gathering, actually, I will say for this one, let's go ahead and make a wisdom roll. To see how you do in terms of gathering information about the.
Okay.
It's
I
a little
rolled
tough.
a 1.
Oh shit, dude! I was gonna say I was gonna give you a little penalty there, but you rolled before
Yeah,
I could even say it.
Yeah,
I guess that doesn't matter though.
I would have rather rolled the 1 on the other one, to be honest.
So I know, actually, in a way.
Ugh.
So JB knows.
More
by
than
the
he
way,
should.
just so you know, of course, Dom, you can try again with the armor when you level up. So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
So JB, at one point, JB's been, as he's described it, glad handing with the Burns Badgers, and at one point, for some reason, like during the 6 weeks, you end up getting going out to drinks with JB at this weird. He convinces you somehow to go to get some drinks at this like new watering hole, whatever. This like makeshift. It's basically like a shed that the doors are just opened up, and they've put some barrels out and put like a plank across it, and
Just
they've
very
tapped
fancy,
a couple
like,
beer things. Yeah, and
Joe's Pub.
right, and then they've and ever since they took control of the traders establishment too, they're getting a lot better stuff. So they're like offering, things, and there are a couple locals there actually. Like you see, they're not necessarily like longtime locals, but
Right.
but anyway, you're at one of these things, and JB is and has invited you, and he knows like a couple of the badgers that like whatever kind of get you in the door, and you end up overhearing these guys who like you end up talking to them and learn that a couple of the other guys that they know, Burns Badgers, a couple of guys who used to be Burns Badgers early on but ended up deserting, had talked about getting a hold of some dwarves, of dwarven slaves sent further up north. They were taken in at the moat house, and as soon as it was known that they were dwarves, they were immediately shipped up for some sort of special project. And that's all these guys remember, because this is sort of secondhand information. But
do they remember the names? Like, you could just say blah, it's fine, but the names of the people that told them this information, just in case I come across those people.
Yeah, I'll get a good name though. We'll do something here, and I'll even write it down in my notebook. How about that?
All right.
Let's see.
Man, Burns Badgers are
Former
worse than Stone Circle.
Burns Badger who knew of missing dwarves. Let's call him we'll call him Jasper.
All right. Got it.
Yeah, and we'll say these guys also, these couple of Burns Badgers that you and JB are talking, we're talking to that night when you got this information. Those guys were also like apparently Jasper. The reason why he even talked about the dwarves was because, oh, is that so funny? Jasper's your name on Roll20. I didn't know that. I'm not even in Roll20. They also Jasper apparently quit the bandits, quit the moat house because it was because of the way that they had they were treating the dwarves. And it's in particular, and he never described it, but he would always he was haunted by something that happened with the dwarves.
Then what I'm going to do with the remainder of my time after this conversation is I am going to, because that hits my character, so I am going to actually try to forge him something, like a clan symbol of mine, right?
Okay.
Like a symbol of Boulder Guard, that he quit them over that and then told other people about it. So that's big for me. So I'm gonna forge him a Boulder Guard symbol to give to him if I find him.
Okay, cool.
So I'm gonna forge it. I'm gonna forge it, and I'm gonna try to bless it as I forge it.
That's great, man. Yeah, I think that sounds great. Are there mechanics involved in that?
I mean,
to bless an object. I mean,
I'm too low level to actually create a magic item.
Right.
I think you got to be like 7. So, I mean, I can't really create one, but I'm just gonna do it at randomly as I create it.
All right. Wait, you were brought up Catholic too, weren't you? Weren't you brought up Catholic? No. Okay, because I was just thinking in Catholicism, you go to the priest and bless something, but it's not like it makes it a magic item.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's still special.
Well, yeah.
You know
exactly.
what I mean? And I mean, I imagine that there's a certain level of that too, within the church, even the Church of Clangeddon and such. There's objects that are of significance.
Right. Well, what I was going to try to do is, and again, because I know I can't make a permanent magic item, but enchanting an item is different than making a permanent magic item, right? So there's this level 1 spell called Silverbeard that's specific to Clangeddon priests, but all it does is that's the one that gives you the silver beard and a +1 AC.
So great.
And if you use it repeatedly, obviously it could permanently turn your beard silver. I know it's not gonna do that, but if I could get it to do that once, I give him this and one time he could go, oh, it protects me, it gives me a +1 AC or something. It's nothing great or grandiose or game breaking even for an NPC, but it just does something. The one-time blessing of my clan that he can use.
I love that. I'm fine with that, dude. That sounds great.
So I'm going to try to create that.
Nothing game breaking about that at all. Yeah, I mean, obviously you'll have to succeed at your crafting.
Right.
But other than that, I don't think there's any reason. I think that sounds cool, man. There's nothing, a one-time +1. I mean, it's not really
right. And it's for an NPC.
It's also cool though, but it also makes it
an NPC that
special.
may never seem action either. So it's exactly. More thematic.
You never know though. You could think about it maybe one day fortune smiles upon him and at some business deal and it tilts in his favor or something like that. And as he reaches his hand across the Clangeddon token you've made for him or something, I mean, there's stuff.
Somebody tries to backstab him and all of a sudden it just activates he grows a silver beard that protects him from that one hit somehow. And he's like, aha. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to try to do now. That's my mission for the rest of my free time.
Okay. I love that. Yeah, I mean, just go ahead and roll then for that. And then, what about, Luke, I know you didn't play a lot of the Hommlet stuff, so you're not as familiar with the town, or are you? Do you know anything about this game? This module?
I have a little bit of knowledge from way past, but Yeah, it's not as fresh as everybody else's, so I'm still catching up on what's going on in Hommlet.
All right, that's fine. I mean, the town is. I'll give you kind of a brief description of the town, and we don't have to get deep into what you may or may not do. But the town is essentially as a fairly typical small town. I mean, it's got, you know, all of the normal, merchants that you could imagine in terms of, the cobbler and woodworker types, and there's a bank, and there's actually a trader's market which the group owns, but has signed a contract over to Rufus and Byrne, the wizard and his barbarian companion, that operate a very powerful mercenary company called Byrne's Badgers, and the Inn of the Welcome Wench is sort of the central meeting spot, and the town is ruled over by a group of council people, which includes the town elder and several other, influential shop owners, as well as powerful individuals within the town. So, but other than that, it's pretty standard. There is a conflict going on right now between the Rufus and Byrne's Badgers, who's like this increasingly more powerful mercenary company, and the more traditional locals, the militia member types, militia locals, who are feeling, progressively more and more put upon by this sort of like outside military presence, essentially. And that's basically kind of what is going on in the town right now. The group as a whole is sort of looked upon favorably by pretty much everybody. They have apparently, there are tales of them having defeated a wyvern, which was preying upon farmers on the edge of the lands around Hommlet. And of course, they've sort of they helped free a couple of captives from the moat house and helped return them. They've helped, they've given to the church, the Church of St. Cuthbert, and just generally done a lot of positive things in town. So they're looked upon positively. And that about does it. So yeah, if there's anything you want to do within the context of that basic structure.
Well, I think it was agreed. So what Tarkus did was he went with Roland to Verbonk, didn't he? To offload some of the excess stuff that,
of course,
the party didn't need. Yes. So
right.
Long travel up to Verbonk. Did a little bit of shopping myself. What Tarkus did. So people have noticed that Tarkus is actually dressed a lot nicer than he was when he left. His equipment was shabby and found in a barrel in the moat house, as his original armor must have been much too fine to just be left in a barrel. So this time he's come back with bronze mail instead of some tatty scale.
Nice.
Also bringing back some men-at-arms, I believe. I managed to negotiate that with my noble standing to get us some rather loyal but expensive men that should take care of everything at the moat house if we're not there. Roland did come with me. I don't know what he's doing. I think he was drunk on his horse on the way back as well. He's clearly having a good time.
Well, like everybody's rich all of a sudden, basically.
Yes, basically.
All right, so yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about that. Thank you for the reminder there. But yes, you have the men at arms, and we could navigate all of that, but there will be a certain amount of, navigating that process of getting them to go out to the moat house. And what do we say the trip to Verbonk and back was 4 of the 6 weeks, or was it a full 6 weeks?
I am not 100% sure because that was all done in voice, and I don't have recollection.
Yeah, I don't
I
either.
didn't write any of it down.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, okay. So, you start to orchestrate all of that. We can talk about that more offline. Unless you guys want to spend time on that stuff. Do you want to do that, or do you want to consider your next steps? Okay, now let's get to this. Let's get to this, and we'll do it in character. So now we'll reset the scene here. Well, actually, Grey Ash, do you want to maybe describe some of your adventures? Because I know you've gained some new spells, right? You have a few new spells now.
Yeah. So I've been studying non-stop and putting up with Burns' incessant whining about me being here too much. Veiled threats of limiting my usage of his facilities and stuff. And I guess probably by the end of this, I just hate his guts and just I'm just glad to see the back of this place.
He's abrasive for sure. He is abrasive.
I was waiting for you to say you were glad to see the back of his head, which would have worked too. But that's JB.
Cast something on the way out.
Now, I'll also mention here that you've been at the Wizard's Tower, and you'll see I have made a little box.
There is a box
near the Wizard's Tower. That's where that little shed is. The drinking shed.
Okay. So the first half of my research probably went fine, and the second half got a little messed up because I guess this is probably my first time trying to do something with illusion magic and finding out that it just doesn't work with my brain for some reason, which is interesting. So instead I got other things. But yeah, there's probably not much to talk about that. Well, when I meet up with everyone else, I'll be like,
yeah, I'm wondering
how glad I am to get out of that place and not have to deal with Burns anymore. Everyone else is been going around about the place, and I've just been stuck in the tomes.
He looks as pale as ever, and probably even thinner after all of that, just incessant study and all of that.
When you see the president's photos before and after the 2 years, it's like that.
In 6 weeks, Burn has aged you 8 years.
Pretty
but
much.
I mean, you definitely are more powerful. You got a couple of really great new spells, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
So the group of you are all you're all kind of hanging out at the Inn of the Welcome Wench. In fact, let me get that map up up here so everybody can see this. Of course, that doesn't do much for the viewers there at home, but you can, for those who are playing this actual game, you can see the layout of the Inn of the Welcome Wench on your screen. But I'll describe it as well. It's a large chamber with lots of space for a good number of people to enjoy the sort of famous food and drink of the Inn of the Welcome Wench. The menu is actually very extensive. There's 6 sort of long bench picnic bench style tables, sort of, you might say, with long benches where people are of mixed groups are joining together. And then there's a sort of smaller private table in one corner where there are, some people that are, kind of a lower table with some stools, and maybe they're, we'll say, distinguished merchants from out of town that are coming to, they made some sort of delivery in there. They've got some sort of special menu of food being delivered to them. And then, of course, there's a couple of nice, comfortable chairs and a bearskin rug in front of the large hearth at the far end of the room. There's an L-shaped bar. And, of course, again, that the menu is extensive. Let's see here. I might as well just go ahead and throw out a few of these amazing food items to remind everybody. There is, of course, the regular dinner, the plain supper, the elaborate supper, and then the 7-course dinner, which is being served, of course, which includes highlights such as mushroom stuffed with crayfish, braised beef tips, and roast goose with gravy. So that's pretty amazing. And in terms of drink, there's all different types of beers and ales and wines, and brandies as well. So you're all munching on whatever you so choose, and this is sort of the first extended period that you've had all back together. We'll say that it was plans were made that you would all come back together on this day. It was when Grey Ash expected that his studies would be concluded, and you could all meet back here at the Inn of the Welcome Wench, and you discuss what you were going to do next.
Welcome, wench.
The Inn of the Welcome Wench. So, I leave it to you as food is served and you've had a bit of time to reconnect, tell of your adventures. What shall you do next?
Everyone else probably joins me already, like stuffing my face and
Yeah, definitely
filling
eating.
myself with mead.
Ash has definitely been stress eating since he's been dealing with burn.
Yeah.
How much longer before we're all ready to leave?
Oh, get me out of here.
Leave to where?
That's a question.
Well, where would we like to go?
I believe we were making our way to Nulb.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Either Nulb or pass Nulb to the temple to investigate the temple that we've heard so much about, unless we plan to retire here.
You could retire, Grandpa, but I'm not ready.
Me either. And I am no one's grandpa. I am no elf.
As you look down and there's a little bit of gray in your beard, you've been working on this spell. There's like the silver.
It's silver, not gray. It's silver, not gray, human.
Well, did you make your roll? Did you do your roll?
I rolled an 11 out of 9 because that 9's going to kill me. Did not make it.
That's what for crafting that is also an intelligence check?
Crafting everything is an intelligence check for the most part.
Fuck, man.
I mean, not everything.
I
but-
think
I feel
that's
like that should be
for
wisdom.
me. That was a religion check for me.
I mean,
That's
if it's a
religious,
that's a religion check, I made it.
item. No, that's a religious item.
Okay.
For 100%, that's religion.
So if it was a religion,
I'm saying you have to have the skill
Yeah.
of crafting to be able to do it at all, but it's a
Right.
religion check. I mean, that's what this is. So
Okay.
it's a
Yeah,
religious
I
item.
made it with a religious check. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's probably. I was gonna say, I was like, you have like a 18 or 19 wisdom, dude. Like, I think you can only fail on like a 20. Yeah. So anyway, but then you've got a little bit of silver in your beard because you've been working on this special item for like the last.
That checks out.
I'm a little disappointed that you're not in character right now, Dom, because your beard is very black. There's not a lick of silver in that.
There is some gray here. You just can't see it over the camera.
All right, so let's see here. Why am I trying to do this right now? I do not know, but it's done. So I was making a character sheet for Chris, even though he's not playing at the moment because I noticed he didn't have one.
We're down a man. Technical difficulties.
That's okay. Yeah, so what would you like to do?
I'd like to go to Nulb, but I'd also like to just see this temple. Like, we don't have to walk through the doors, but we literally don't even know what it looks like, what the environment is. For all we know, it's surrounded by giants or some nonsense.
Well, we
Probably
can
not
always
likely,
scout it
though.
out.
Do we know how close it is to Nulb?
2 days by horse, 3 days on foot.
2 days from Nulb. That's like past Nulb, I guess, from here, right? Or
The
Yes.
temple.
Hmm.
Temple's like 2 hours away from Nulb.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, if we're heading to Nulb, we should check out the temple.
Yeah,
Have a
we can
peek.
Yeah,
get settled
Trying to
in
get
Nulb and
kills.
start set up in Nulb and start trying to look around.
that makes sense.
I don't know how much we can set up in Nulb from what we've heard of the place, but
Well,
hopefully it's not that bad.
we do have a contact there.
Yeah.
Otis, Elmo's brother.
I'm not sure how well I can prance around in Nulb in this armor. I might stand out a little bit.
Well, I think I'll stand out. I may not stand tall, but I'll stand out in Nulb as well.
Well, dwarves.
Well, that's the point. You can hide behind me.
Maybe if two of you stood together.
I think we will all
You are quite slight.
I mean, actually, all of you look fairly impressive right now. You've had 6 weeks. You've all like gained experience. You've kind of cleaned up. You probably all have new clothes, even if it's not fancy clothes. They're at least like you've patched up any holes you might have had, or you know, you've cleaned your armor and weapons. Like all of you look. You've been eating regular non-trail rations, and like you haven't been sleeping in like rat-infested dungeons or on the road in like sickly forests. So
they've renamed the 7-course dinner as the JB special.
JB's got a little bit of a pot belly. It'll be gone. It won't take long before it's gone again. But
listen, 25 years I've been living on the streets. I'm enjoying this.
JB's Jolly Bandits.
JB's Jolly Bandits, exactly.
I do like dead meat, though.
I mean, now that we've shed the dead weight, I think we're much better.
Command and Conquer. Got these names still down here. You haven't taken any of them yet. All right. So are you going to head to Nulb then? Is that your plan to head to the north?
Time to go to Nulb.
I think
establish
so.
ourselves there and use that as sort of a base to check out this temple.
What are we going to do with Roland? Leave him here or throw him over the back of a horse and drag him with us?
Put him in a barrel.
He yells something at you, and it you think it means that he wants to come.
Okay. Well, he's not taking my horse, so somebody's going to have to throw him over a horse or over their shoulder.
All right. So, is there any precautions or any extra things that you want to do before you leave?
Not for me. I mean, I'm packed up and ready to go.
Yeah, I travel light. I'm just going to restock my arrows.
I haven't unpacked from the journey really.
I'll also get some arrows.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good to go. Ready.
I don't think there's. Is anything we've needed and then like haven't had? I can't really think of anything. Maybe another lantern, but can I buy a lantern?
Yeah, you can get anything you want. I mean, anything out of the player's handbook, basically. Yeah. And if there's a specialty item, just let me know. I mean, you can basically have it at this point.
I'll take a +12 longbow, thank you.
A sword of sharpness.
I like that you said sword of sharpness instead of vorpal blade, because I actually like the sword of sharpness better. I like cutting off limbs, different limbs. I don't know. There's just something very appealing to me about that.
There's something called what was it called?
I was always partial to
Put
the
on.
defender.
Oh, the Defender's great. The thing I love about the Defender is you get to do something different with it, like round around.
You
can
get
like
to choose how much you want to be AC and how much you want to be a +1. Like,
how fun, right?
So that's what I like. I like the versatility of that.
I do love that too.
My first magic item ever in D&D, Sunblade.
Oh, dude, that was one of my first two. It must have been in a module that was an old school module because I had a Sunblade as well. Maybe it was like an Isle of Dread or something. Anyway, yeah. I've never had a defender. I love that weapon though. Never had a character that had a defender. I did have a sort of sharpness. Never had a vorpal weapon. I played in a campaign.
I've only ever had a character with a sword, a luck sword, and it had no wishes on it, so it was useless.
Oh god, fuck that. I'd be mad. I'd be like, what the fuck, DM? Well, I'd be like, dude, what are you even doing? Like, that's not.
It was +1 healing, like naturally.
What?
So I'd just be sat there with it in my scabbard, like fondling with the hilt, and it just heal me every now and then. I'm like, yeah, okay, that'll do, whatever.
Yeah, but if you get a luck blade, you're not looking for +1 healing every now and then. You want that wish. You know what I mean? And if you're a DM and you let your players get a luck blade, it's gotta have at least one wish on it. That's just a dick move. You'll be like, you found a luck blade! Oh.
I'll let Cass know what you think of him.
Was that Chris? Oh, that's such a Chris move. I'll tell him myself. All right, so any other precautions? Anything else? We'll assume you're getting one last good night of sleep, and nothing's bad's gonna happen or anything like that. But you get one more last night of sleep, and
sounds good.
Anything else that you guys want to do? Anything else special before we move on? And I read you in the incredibly long interlude section of the module because I'm so excited to read it to you.
You know what? I would never want to stand in the way of this much excitement that a DM is about to have. So
yes,
you know what?
Well, it's one of those things. It's like I feel like we're doing this classic module. I feel like I have to read this to you because it's like you will not get the full. Yeah, exactly. You won't get the full experience unless I read this out loud to you. But so I will do this now. I'm going to need a sip of drink for this because this is some long shit.
Look forward to it.
All right, you can see it from there. You see the box text on this page? It's the whole fucking page.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Player's background. The pleasant and seemingly peaceful village of Hommlet turned out to be filled with intrigue, with agents of chaotic evil hidden within the hamlet. The supposedly deserted and ruined moat house nearby held a new champion of the nearby temple of elemental evil. All of this brought danger and difficulty to the members of your group, but it also offered adventure, experience, and wealth. You have either slain or driven off the evil men and creatures, and the able guardians of Hommlet, Jaru, Turjon, Elmo, and the rest of the sturdy militiamen can surely see to it that their area remains clean of the taint of evil hereafter. Having accomplished most of your goals, you must now look elsewhere for yet greater challenges and commensurate rewards. If agents of the temple were still active in Hommlet, then there must certainly be work for you at that fountainhead of wickedness. Just 3 days' journey afoot, only about 2 days' ride, east along the high road, lies the disreputable community of Nulb, and the temple hidden in the hills nearby. This vile place spawned much suffering, ruin, and death before the hosts of good brought it low and bound its power. It is evident that the place was wounded but not slain, for dark things crept into Hommlet under the direction of someone or something still lurking in the shunned edifice of evil. The upper works of the temple were thrown down and destroyed in the final siege of the war against its hordes. Because of its great power and evil, however, the conquerors did not actually raze the temple proper, instead sealing its great doors and placing mighty wards of all sorts upon the place and the black labyrinth beneath. Even as great a force as overthrew the temple could not cleanly deal with what lurked below. Since that great battle, the temple area has been shunned, its ruins deserted. The nearby village of Nulb has returned to a semblance of normal activity, questionable at best, for the place has always been rumored to house thieves, brigands, smugglers, and pirates. JB's friends. But as Nulb stinks of garbage and filth, the temple area reeks of the foul corruption and pervading evil from whence it was spawned. No wonder that both places have been left to their own devices. Not even halfway through. When the temple of elemental evil flourished, earthquakes, storms of all sorts, great fires, and flash floods struck areas nearby with seeming capriciousness. All that ceased when the temple was assaulted and sealed. You have been advised of all of this, and urged to go elsewhere to seek your fame and fortunes. The unease which prevails upon those merely passing near the ruins shows that some wickedness still haunts the place. There are many bad folk in Nulb, and still greater perils amidst the fallen temple. Yet the lure of such adventure beckons to you, drawing your party as surely as lodestone draws iron. Warnings against loss of life, or even worse fates than loss of life, cannot counter the irresistible pull of treasures secreted deep underground, of monsters still unbeaten, of mysteries to be unraveled. There are whispers of occult places beneath the interdicted temple, where mighty evil is yet wrought and noble folk are imprisoned. With care and cunning, luck and great deeds, caution mixed with boldness and daring, you and your associates can win through to achieve exploits of the stuff of legend! Exclamation point. The journey of 100 leagues begins with the first pace, and the time for your sojourn has come. How you and your fellow adventurers plan to overcome the perils of the temple is a matter that you must decide for yourselves. Is it best to reconnoiter from Hommlet? Base your activities from the village of Nulb? Try to make a secure wilderness camp somewhere near the ruin? Or perhaps lodge somewhere within the foreboding temple itself? The decision is now. It is certain that both vast treasure and horrible death await, so you must gain the one while cheating the other. Fortune and the gods must smile upon such an undertaking. And you might think that would be the end of it. Only now I need to give you the historical notes, which you would have gathered over the past month.
Free bird.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's so dramatic. I mean, like, god damn, that was a lot.
Are these the historical documents like Galaxy Quest?
Let us continue once more. You know,
I do appreciate the fact that you needed to stop and take a drink.
I mean, seriously, it's intense. Okay, let's get the background. Let's get some D&D background music here. We'll switch it up, switching up the music. We need to, if I can make this play. Okay. For many years, a cult of chaotic evil flourished somewhere on the shores of the Nirdiv, although the location of their temple is lost. These facts regarding it and its followers are known. The cult was based on the premise that the elemental forces of the universe are chaotic and opposed to mankind, and are thus, from a humanocentric viewpoint, evil. The temple of the cult sought to destroy all works of good and to disrupt order. Its members were thieves, assassins, brigands, and the like. Fire was regarded as the first elemental evil, and its penchant for chaos fitted the premise of the cult. Water was likewise worshipped as an even more powerful force of chaotic evil, in the form of floods, storms, and raging seas beating upon the land and ocean vessels. The epitome of chaotic evil, however, was regarded as a combination of air and earth, obviously represented by blackness and corresponding with the demonic abyss for some reason. This combination was regarded as a complete negation of matter. The cult grew powerful and rich, attracting followers of the worst sort and offering them safety within the walls of the temple stronghold. From this fortress would the followers ride and rob, pillage and lay waste to the lands about, tithing the cult from the spoils of the carnage. Captives from those raids were brought back to the temple to serve as human sacrifices, or dwarven sacrifices. Children to the fire, men to the water, and women to the blackest evil, or to slave their lives away in bondage. Besides the extensive upper works of the temple, a deep labyrinth beneath the place was constructed, but virtually nothing is known about these dungeons except that they were inhabited by a plethora of creatures serving chaos and evil. It is rumored that a demon took up abode in the deepest level to better receive the sacrifices to it. Eventually, the neighbors of the temple grew tired of these depredations. All good, both lawful and chaotic. That means you guys banded together to form a mighty host. Their army marched to the temple, fighting 2 battles along the way. The first was conclusive, fought the forces of good who held the field afterward, so they gained the reputation of victory, and their ranks swelled with men. The second battle saw a great slaughter of kobolds, goblins, orcs, hobgoblins, evil men, and the like. The temple was thereafter besieged, fell, and its inhabitants put to the sword. It is reported by some sources that the temple and its precincts resisted complete destruction, but the majority state that the whole was razed so that the cult could never emerge again, nor could any find where it once flourished. Thank you. I'll be here for the rest of the night.
I'm sorry, I forgot what we were playing.
Yeah. You guys want to play some D&D now? Woo! That was exhausting.
That was crazy.
I feel like I need a cigarette.
I mean, that was quite a bit.
Yeah.
All right.
I need a cigarette from just watching it happen.
I mean, obviously, like, I don't want to. It's totally tedious. But I mean, at the same time, I don't want you guys to not be able to get the full feel
The full
of this.
effect,
So,
yeah.
all right. So you begin the following day. Are you all on horseback? Describe your sort of setting out on the following day. What is your situation like? Or don't you still have like a goat or something?
Yeah, so we have I have a donkey that I ride on because I don't have a horse.
Did you want to upgrade at that time? During the time?
Well, it's because I can't get up on the horse. It's too
Yeah,
tall.
we'd need a step ladder for him.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
would
you
need,
could
like, a
have
step
gotten.
up.
Isn't it like dwarves don't they ride ponies?
Or ponies. Yeah, I guess that's not.
Yeah,
a donkey.
ponies are what they do. Like, which are
Yeah.
as fast as horses and such. Well, not as fast as the fastest horses, but they're more horse-like. You get a big old like hefty pony.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, and then what about Luke? What is Tarkus riding?
Tarkus is riding a beautiful medium brown warhorse covered in chain barding from tip to toe.
Very nice. All right. So far, very inconspicuous. What about JB?
JB has rented a horse on credit.
Okay.
They'll totally pay the bill when they get back.
Oh, JB. And Grey Ash, is he flying on a flying carpet into Nulb? What is Grey Ash? Is Grey Ash riding?
Are we all? I don't know. That wouldn't the boar horse ever had to. Is everyone else riding horses?
Everybody's riding
kind
horses
of.
or ponies. Yeah, I mean, you don't have
You
to.
can ride a broom if you want.
No.
It won't be magical though, so you'll just.
You'll
be
have to
kind
give
of
it
like-
back to Burns' mom when we get back.
Hmm. I mean, if I wouldn't
I
be
mean, but you
slowing
also
everyone
do.
down,
You do have,
No.
don't you? Like literally have like a donkey or something like that in a cart, or a goat in a cart or something. You have something.
We do. Yeah.
we must have had a cart at some point.
We have a cart and we have a couple mules or donkeys.
Yeah.
We were going to use them as bait for the wyvern, and they didn't die.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you took it to the moat house and you
It
used it
didn't
to bring
die.
stuff back.
This donkey refuses to die, so he keeps on getting more and more money.
That's
You
right.
should- You should name him so that way you start to care about him, and then I can use him against you.
Frank.
Oh God.
That way, if it dies, we won't care.
Frank the donkey.
Frank, yeah, well, Frank's an ass.
Yeah, there it is.
Hmm. Oh, there you go.
There we
Okay.
go. See, it's love it when the plan comes together.
All right, so you've
I
got
just
this.
realized I never picked up a third level, like a proficiency, non-weapon proficiency at third level.
Yeah, I have
Oh,
one.
you
open
get it
as
every
well.
third. Yeah, you can choose one.
Yeah,
ahead.
and I could have got research, and the research proficiency halves the amount of time it takes to research spells.
Dude, please. No, that's fine. And that makes perfect sense that your character that you would take that. You can do that, and if you want to pick a couple more spells that you would have been able to learn over that period of time and roll for them, that's perfectly fine by me. I mean, is
Yeah.
everybody cool with that? Because
That's
I
fine.
think you would have definitely gotten that. That makes
Yeah.
perfect sense. You were kind of planning to use that library. Like that was your
Yeah,
so like you were working towards using that library. So the fact that you would have had
I've been level 3 for ages, so
yeah, no, that's fine. No, that's perfectly fine.
Mhm.
Yeah, so just think about what other spells you might want to try out. You probably have a couple that you were considering already. So, Frank the Ass. So, did you get a horse though, Grey Ash? Does Grey Ash have a horse, David?
Yeah, I don't want to be the only one walking for no reason. I do have to make a proficiency check
For your horse?
for the
Of
the
course, of
research
course.
time.
Ah.
Intelligence, I guess. Proficiency check.
The research
this low roll or
proficiency's
high roll?
gotta be into low.
Oh, that's good. 5.
Okay, good. Yeah, then your research went very well. I actually like it
Cool.
too because it's sort of your. I mean, you have access to that library. Although I will say this, wait a second here.
Burns will never let you back in there again.
Nope.
What Burn doesn't know won't hurt him,
Yeah, so
but we will.
hold on a second here. Because I got something and I'm just trying to remember here.
The spell list again now.
What am I missing? I'm missing something here.
Section Hmm.
Oh, this is pissing me off. I'm so sorry. Should have made a note of this. Well, something must be doing something, remembering something incorrectly. Oh, okay. Yes. Byrne tells you at sort of your last meeting as you're finishing up, that he considers your business to be done. However, based on the good, I'll get the character. He says, I can't say I've enjoyed having you in my way over the past 6 weeks as you studied your spells, but I do see that there is some promise in you, and perhaps one day we will meet again in a as more of peers and less as maybe two wizards going in different directions. So I offer you this. Should you need access to different spells, I will keep a communication with Otis in Nulb. And given I will let him know what I have access to for scrolls. And I can have them delivered to you in Nulb.
Thank you. That's very generous.
Ah,
Appreciate
you'll
it.
be paying for it. It won't be generosity at all.
Naturally. Nothing comes free.
Says, anyway, very well.
Very well.
And then he kind of goes back to his ledgers and everything like that with very little other ceremony. Although, while you're kind of standing at each other before that, he kind of he gives you a deep look in the eye, like as if he's assessing you before stepping away.
All deception.
No, he was just psionically just weeding his way into your brain. All right, so all of you have you all have your horses. You've kind of negotiated everything. Otis is there. Now, again, there is a road that leads to. Why am I not hearing anything here? There is a road that leads to. That leads straight up to Nulb from Hommlet. And it's not considered to be a safe route, but folks do make it. There are some who brave the trip up from Hommlet to deliver goods to Nulb, because there is some market for it. And also, Nulb is essentially a fishing village. There is it is off the near Div, which is a bustling river. And there is, stuff that comes in off the river that maybe makes its way down to Hommlet. And maybe if you're trying to get something that isn't necessarily as well sanctioned, maybe it comes from Nulb through Hommlet. So the road is fairly well traveled. It's bumpy and rutted and not well maintained and certainly not patrolled. But it is it does feel you can tell that there's been others. And even just having been in Hommlet, you've over the past 6 weeks, you've known that people have gone up there, here and there. Now it's time to get out some dice.
I mean, we should be fine taking the direct route. What are the odds that there's going to be 2 bands of murder hobos on the road?
I agree.
Yeah, and one of the things too, so if you even want to get to the temple, you essentially have to go through Nulb to make it easy on yourselves, because the only place really to ford Imrid's Run is at Nulb. And other than that, you're crossing a huge, difficult river to get to the temple. Not that it can't be done, though. So anyway, so you begin your journeys, and let's see here. Roll. Okay, I'm gonna roll from random encounters here. Let's see.
Big money, no whammies.
3,
Give us something with big money.
6. Okay. Let's see. 6 times. All right, so you're Okay. All right, so the first day of travel goes perfectly well. There's no problems whatsoever. It just seems like another trail through a forest. It's fairly wild along the way, but it's nothing distorted, twisted, horrid, or anything like that. It's not like when you went out to the moat house, for example, there was like that. It was kind of getting like more twisted and deranged and troubling as you got closer and closer to the moat house. That is not the case on your first day of travel. You travel north, and you're essentially taking the low road through the southern Cron Hills. You know that as you move through the Cron Hills, it's fairly well occupied by gnomes, and you have good relationship with them. In fact, I think one of you carries a signet ring that calls you friend of the gnomes of the Cron Hills. Do you not?
That sounds like a very JB thing.
Who has that? Doesn't somebody have that ring? Got it from the gnome that was
I want to say that they gave it to Sir Roderick, but I definitely stole that from him.
Oh yeah, they did. I think you're right.
And I definitely stole it from him.
All right, you definitely stole it from him.
Definitely.
In fact, we'll just say you're riding and you're kind of like looking down at this ring as I'm sort of saying this as you're moving along, because you have this sort of first day of travel, and it's fairly, you're over and amongst the hills, and there's bits of forest here and there. On the second day of travel, though, as you're sort of beginning, your day, you're in a particularly sort of hilly area. And it appears as though, the rains have in this area have been heavy enough that in the there's several of these sort of like little streams running kind of through. They're nothing. I mean, you step over them. You can ride it, walk your horses in them. It's not dangerous or anything like that. But there's these little streams that have kind of popped up every now and then, that you're going, the road becomes sort of stream-like as the rains have sort of filled it up and it's muddy. It's not raining now, but it makes it very evident to you as you're as you're moving along that that a wagon was moving through here recently as well, because you can see these huge thick ruts, and in fact I'm gonna say Luke, I'm gonna say Tarkus would recognize this in particular, because this is almost like a carriage. You can see the because Tarkus has spent a lot of more time in the city and is more of that in that social class, and so it almost has, like, you can see like the wheel ruts are indicative of like a carriage, and you can see that there are some pretty hefty horse hoof marks as well, like thick hooves.
Yeah, it looks like somebody of note has been through here recently. The heavier horses, the heavier carriage.
Yeah,
I wonder who it might be.
Based on those wheel grooves, they were definitely loaded down with cash.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Just keep moving forward.
Keep on going.
Keep on going.
All right. So again, there's sort of this rolling hills, and as you've been moving, sure enough, as the day, as the time has continued, the weather, first some clouds started to form, and then you started getting this rumble of thunder, and then it just started thick, chubby ass rain started falling. But everybody make a perception check about this time.
Hey guys, the weather outside is frightful.
A fire would be delightful to all of you right now.
I made it.
12. My perception is 12.
Okay, you made it.
I rolled 7, so I made it by quite a bit.
You are muted, Dom and Luke.
Yeah, rolled a 8 on a 12 perception.
Nice.
Same.
Okay.
Rolled an 8 on a 14.
Nice.
All right, so all of you, you know, you hear this thunder, you know, you're walking, you're like, oh shit, and boom, rain starts pouring down, and almost like the simultaneous, you hear like this loud boom, but you're like, shit, that's not thunder. It sounded like something
Exploding?
like, well, all of you made your perception checks. I'll actually say, how well did JB do?
JB made it by 10.
Okay, so JB, so Pete and Luke, JB and Tarkus, I would say. Wait, how did Grey Ash do? Gray got it on pretty much on target. Because of the two of you. Oh, and Tuctrin. I mean, you made it by 4 as well. You would say that it sounds like the sound of you know, wood being like crushed or smashed, like it would be you know, like it was getting hit by a battering ram or ripped apart by something horrible. And in fact, to emphasize the horrible, all of you are hearing of this like this kind of sickening high pitched screams, multiple screams, and the sound of, well, let's see who made it by the most. JB made it by the most. I'm going to say you hear a humanoid speaking, and it definitely sounds to you like they are speaking words of magic.
Gentlemen, anyone else hear that? Sounds like a spell. Can I make out any of the words?
Just that it's the arcane, okay. You know, words of arcane spell, like, you know, you hear the spidery language. It doesn't quite sound like Grey Ash, because Grey Ash, it doesn't sound like Grey Ash to JB, because Grey Ash, he's a little different. You know, like the way he does his spells are a little bit more on the edge of
How close are they?
The sounds, it's hard to tell, but it's within hearing range. Maybe it's just over on the other side of the hills, like, because it's kind of, you know, you're kind of going in between the hills, and maybe it's just around the other hill.
That's not good.
Yeah,
what'd you like to do?
I want to look at it, but I don't.
Well, we're gonna have to go that way, right? And if it's on top, or if it's on the hill, we can't guarantee we'll be in cover from it the rest of the journey.
Well, it's kind of in the valley. Like, there's hills, and you're sort of traveling between the valleys of the hills, and so it's sort of like on the other side of, you know, just around the bend.
All right, so I'll ride forward to try to get a closer look.
Sound man, he was saying Klaatu Barada.
Yeah.
What language?
Dismount the horse.
Do I recognize any languages being shouted out, or?
No, not. I gave a -8 to JB to hear the arcane.
Oh yeah, okay, never mind.
Of arcane language. You can hear a humanoid seeming to, you know, with raised voice countering the sounds of monstrous roars, high-pitched monstrous roars, and you go running. You know, Tuctrin, you go charging on your pony around the bend, and you can see up ahead there is a magnificent, well, in a way, magnificent carriage. It's not that it's magnificent in the sense that it's like gaudy or ostentatious, but like it's just this modern, it's like this marvel of engineering in the way that it's built. It's like this almost like house on on wheels with these thick, with these thick wheels, sort of half leaning, sort of half off over, and there is a like, I don't want to say it's like leaning half over. It's like bent, pushed down into the mud. There's a standing at the there's doors on the side. There is this about 8 foot tall, lanky, muscular, green, wart covered, huge, talon mouthed monstrosity humanoid. You recognize almost immediately as a troll. And there are 2 other trolls on the other side, one of which has leapt upon the massive draft horse that was one of the 2 massive draft horses that was pulling this carriage, and it is just tearing it apart, while the other one has tangled itself completely in all of the rope and such that was used to guide it and to control it. And it is just a clusterfuck. But in the open doorway that's standing facing the troll is a dark skin, and I mean like not like drow elf, but a darker skinned, like tanned, I guess you might say, a darker skinned elf, hood drawn back, hair sort of like pulled back, looks to be older than like Greyhawk. I mean, he doesn't look like he's like old by any means, but Greyhawk looks like a young man. This guy would, by human standards, may look like in his 30s, early 30s, I guess you might say, so older. And he's standing in the doorway. He's got these like long, dusky blue robes that are sort of accentuated with a slightly lighter blue. And you can see sort of like some silver accoutrements on his fingers. And he's moving his hands, and as you kind of move around the curve, you see he puts his hands forward, and this lightning bolt blasts out of his hands into the troll directly across in front of him. And the troll seems to take it full bore.
Okay.
But there are 3 total trolls. And this one seems to be by himself. This elf. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's go ahead and do. So I played with Chris earlier today. I love the way he decided to do initiative, and I would love it if we can do it this way, guys. We roll. Just declare. How would you guys feel like basing initiative off of one single group initiative? Are you guys married to everybody rolling?
No,
I'm good with whatever, man.
I'm good to go.
I'm used to a single group initiative.
Well, all right, then we can just rotate. One person will roll each time, and then everybody will base their initiative off of that single roll. That'll speed things up a little bit. So let's go around and declare actions first. Tuctrin, you're at the head. You've got you're moving. Tuctrin didn't run away. Bold regard. I love that. In fact, he's riding towards. What are you doing?
I am immediately casting protection from evil.
Okay.
Because both parties involved in this look evil.
All right. Luke, what is Tarkus doing?
Tarkus will charge forwards on his steed and draw sword.
All right, very well. Ready. And David, what about Greyhawk?
Okay, I'm so bad at this. I wish I could just like have a map at all times, but no, it's not possible.
Yeah, just imagine you're running around the curve. I'll describe it in more gamey terms here now so we can get a better picture. I just wanted to describe it narratively first. So let me describe what you see. You're coming around the curve. I would say, but when you can really see him about 100 feet, Tuctrin's 100 feet away from him. All right, and you can see this on either side. Sort of hills are rising on either side as the wagon is moving. Down the road in front of it, basically in front of you. And again, it's almost like river-like where you are. It's not a river, but like you're in like a creek. It's just like muddy. All the water's gathering there. You're walking along like essentially, and the wagon up ahead, or the carriage up ahead. When the troll jumped onto the side of the carriage, kind of pushed it into the mud on one side, so it's sort of like askew, and the troll's standing on the edge of that. To the front, the horses are going total apeshit right now. One of which is being completely eaten by the trolls. The other troll is kind of like looking on at the scene and sort of sees you're approaching and like turns towards the group of you. But Tuctrin at the front is about 100 feet away. I'll give any of you the decision to be as close as Tuctrin or further away.
I'll move up to 100 feet, and I'm just waiting for like two trolls to be close enough to each other that I could maybe hit both, basically.
Right now, all the trolls are basically within 20 feet of each other, because they're all concentrated right around the carriage. But the problem is so is the wizard. He's right in the middle of it, basically.
How many would you say are within 10 feet, like a 10-foot cube?
You could get two. You could get either the one that's eating the one horse and the one that's attacking the wizard, or you can get the one that's eating the one horse and the other one that has just taken notice of your group.
So there's 4 altogether?
I'll try and get the
Three.
one that's...
3, okay.
I'll try and get the one that's hitting the horse and the one that's hitting the wizard. As I come around the corner, I'll just roll into initiative with that.
Okay, so you're going to be casting a spell. And what about JB, Pete? What's JB going to be doing this time?
Inexplicably moving away from Tuctrin.
Probably a good plan.
JB is going to be riding up about as far away, and he's going to take aim and fire at the troll attacking the horse. People don't matter, but we don't like animals to get hurt.
Rules question here, and I want to see about how you guys feel about this. Have you ever played with the house rule of allowing backstab with a missile weapon? Have any of you guys ever played that?
You mean like 3.5 and 5th edition use?
Yeah.
I've seen a house rule. I'll be honest with you. I don't personally have an issue with it because in 2nd edition you get it once per combat. It's an opener, and that's it. It's not like 5th edition where you can just keep doing it because you have flanking or whatever.
I also don't think it's outrageously powerful, and I think it's the thief's one weapon.
I'm fine with it personally.
Yeah, thieves in 2E need any help they get, really.
Because if their thieving skills aren't being used, then they're kind of hampered. So no, I'm perfectly cool with it.
Yeah, that's why they advance quickly. What do you think, Luke?
I really don't mind, to be honest.
Okay.
If
so
everybody's of the consensus, then go ahead.
Okay. Good. Hopefully Chris will be on board with this as well. But Pete, I just wanted, so they haven't seen you yet. So I want to clarify this is that you can backstab now with your arrows if you want, but that means you have to sort of sneak up. They can't see you.
Okay.
Yeah, so just keep that in mind. If you want to try to enact something like that. Riding up to them on horseback is probably not going to do it.
Okay.
But does that change the way you approach this at all?
No.
Okay. All right, so then let's go ahead, Dom, why don't you be the first one to roll
I would sneak up and set up a shot if he was just attacking the human, but with the animal, we have to attack. We have to save the animal immediately.
Okay, I get that.
So you want me to roll the initiative?
Yeah, you roll the d10 this time.
You guys are screwed. 'Cause I always roll shitty on initiative. I rolled a 10.
Yeah. Oh.
I knew it. I have yet to have a good initiative roll.
Well, that's just it. We'll get the bad ones out whilst it doesn't matter, and we'll get the good ones in when it does matter.
Okay, so now everybody calculate your initiative. The good news is that they have a higher than a 10. So 10, let's start at 10. The first up potentially would be 11. Nobody goes, well, I don't know what the initiative modifier on your spell is. Anybody at 11?
I'm going to 12.
All right, 12.
If it's 10.
12.
Okay.
You're up.
I also realize it's 20 foot, so I probably get all three of 20 foot square. 20
That's
foot
right.
cube.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool. I'll just glitter dust all three of them. The 2 trolls and the wizard. The three trolls and the wizard.
Yep. All that before. Yep.
And
So they all make some sort of save, do they? Surely. Saving throw special. Why is
Always.
it like this?
What book is it in?
All those in the area must roll a saving throw for this spell. There you go. Why does it say special if it's spell?
Well, the wizard failed, unfortunately.
The wizard have great defense against spell.
I know. I rolled a 3. Rolled a 3.
Sucks to
It's
be
just
him.
like this. Just you're never
He
gonna make
doesn't
it
have the
up.
seed to cast spells.
yeah, he's got a great defense against spells. He just happens to be allergic to glitter.
So
Yeah,
everyone that
he's like,
fails
"Who's you?"
for
That really
oh,
fucked up my fireball I was about to cast.
okay, there's no more.
Fireballs out
Yeah,
his
everyone,
nose.
everyone that
instead.
just failed is now blind, -4 to attack rolls, saving throws, and armor class for 1d4 plus 1 rounds.
And this is
All
why they
right.
don't bother saving the human.
All right, repeat that for me, would you?
For the next 4 rounds, they are all blind, have -4 to attack, -4 to saves, and -4 to the AC.
That is
And if there's
so
anything
good.
invisible that was there, that is now visible as well.
The invisible trolls are visible now.
There's 20
no-
trolls.
Can you imagine invisible flying trolls?
Oh my.
would
Now I
prefer
can.
that too.
All right, so anyway, regardless, they're covered in this like shining stuff now. You look across and they're just these glittering monstrosities, and although they are blinded, they're almost more terrible now as they're just swinging around wildly, looking to bring to bear their rage. The one that was sort of rushing towards you, towards your group, is now just looking around and just swooping its arms around. That was at 12, 13, 14.
14.
All right, they go on
Spell.
14 also.
Sweet.
I didn't
So
tell you. No, it's spell, melee,
Protect.
yeah,
Yep.
range, then melee.
Protection from evil.
Perfect. Your spell goes off first. And then the troll, which was just using its momentum and running towards you and going sort of towards the sound of your horse and everything like that, just leaps at you. Of course, it is blind. And I rolled a 1. Good start.
Yes.
All right. So, yeah, it doesn't notice, because it's covered in glitter dust, it doesn't notice there's this large stone along the road that has emerged because of the washing away of the road with the all the rain that's coming down, and it just trips over the rock, boom, splashes right into the sort of 6 inches deep water, mere feet in front of you, Tucker, and prone in front of you. That was the one on Tuctrin. The one that is on the wizard.
The wizard.
6 and 6, 13, 7. Okay, so you see the even blinded, the troll's like just sweeping its arms around, and the claw it looks like it's about to rip directly into the wizard. And right as it's doing that, it seems as though this field of armor appears, and you all recognize the spell that Grey Ash has often cast upon you, the armor spell, sort of reflecting off of the elf, just deflecting away this creature's attack. And then the one... Wait a second, you know what? I'm stupid. They get a claw bite. Claw, oof. And similarly with the second claw that happens, but then it moves in and it bites the shit out of the wizard. That is 4, so 8. Disrupting his spell.
Why?
And doing a grievous wound to the wizard. You can see him like staggers, just blood bursts out of his shoulders.
Fortunately, he doesn't even have a name yet, so
Crashing down into the water.
What's your name?
He staggers back, crashing into, like, you hear like bottles and books and furniture crashing behind him as he fumbles into the room of the carriage. That was at 14, and then the one on the horse, I am so sorry to say, rips the horse to pieces, and it is dead.
oh bitch.
That was 14. 15.
15, JB goes. 5.
Well, you can take your revenge if you'd like.
My revenge. Okay, where's my new dice that had a good high roll? And we rolled a 20. I love
nice.
this dice. I love this new one. And this is... 8. And I rolled an 8 for damage. So that's 16 damage.
Jesus, dude. All right, that's a good start. Okay. Let's see here, and okay. Got all the damage worked out now. All right, so the creature gasps in pain and rage as it looks over at you, covered. It just looks towards you, JB, as you as your arrow plunges into its ribs. You see it just like breaks off the piece and turns towards you to look at you, just in rage. Its mouth is covered in blood. Just a huge hunk of the horse's neck and meat and blood all sort of coming out of its face, but it notices you, and it seems to take aim at you next time around. That was 15. What about 16?
Tarkus is 16.
Okay, Luke, go ahead. What's Tarkus?
He's just gonna swing with his bastard sword. As he
All right, so there are
rides past.
3. Yeah, there are 3. There's the one that attacked Tuctrin, which is essentially probably the one closest to you. You have to move by that one to get to any of the others. I'm okay with you moving by that, though, without getting an attack of opportunity or anything like that. The thing is blind.
Yeah.
And then there's the ones up ahead.
I'll swing at that one as I ride past and make my way towards the blinded mage and see if I can assist.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Please be good to me rolls. I hit an AC of 11. What?
Well, that's that's not good enough.
It's just
in fact, you don't
it's
even
just
hit
not
it.
good
So,
enough, sir.
so you swing a bit too high. As you lean down across your horse, you're riding past, and you intend to kind of bring a swooping downward swing and back up, sort of scoop move. But at that moment, your horse has to dive slightly to the side out of the mud, and it kind of disrupts your entire swing, and your blade just goes over the creature's head. And you continue on past it. Fortunately, it doesn't really notice you. I mean, it's just it's swinging wildly, but you get by it. That was at 16. Is that everybody?
I believe so.
That is everybody. Tuctrin. No, you don't get the attacks as round as you.
I get another shot though, don't I?
Oh yeah. Do your second shot.
All right, we're gonna aim at that same guy. Yeah, and that is a 9. That is definitely not gonna hit this.
I don't know. It has a +4 to its armor class right now. That
Okay.
probably does hit it because its AC is currently an 8. You're looking over at it, and you can see.
Oh wait! I was about to say a 9 hits an AC of 9 for me, but I get a +2 for my missile attack, so that's an 11. That hits.
That is right. So yes, you're even through the rain and chaos of battle, the glittering skin of the creature covered by the dust, the glitter dust spell the Greyhawk cast makes your aim true. Enough. Yeah, and so you pierce it. Go ahead and roll your damage.
And that's 5 points of damage.
All right.
And which one is that to? My headphones, I had to plug them in, so I missed a little bit.
So the one that killed the horse.
Right. He just
JB
plugged that
is
one.
taking his vengeance out on the horse killer.
Legit. Okay.
All right, so we're back around to the next initiative. So what we'll do, declaration, group die roll, and then we'll go in order again. So we're rolling initiative every round, but we're doing a group initiative. And I found this to be very good. So why don't we move the declaration? We'll shift the declarations down. And Luke, what's Tarkus doing first this time?
Well, I'm going to continue riding until I get to the mage. I'm going to solo that troll that's got its eye on the mage.
Perfect. Grey Ash. David? What's Grey Ash doing?
Now that that's done, I'm gonna do. Well, I was gonna do the first time round, and the two try and. None of my parties are next to the trolls now, right?
I mean, there's one right in front of me in the water.
Yeah. So the trolls are split apart now. There's one that's close to Tuctrin. We'll say about 50 feet. We'll say Tuctrin was moving up towards it. It was moving up towards Tuctrin. 50 feet away from the fallen carriage, or the
That's fine. I'll just do the horse and wizard one.
Okay, so the wizard, yeah, exactly. The one near the horse, it appears as though it's going to be moving away. But you can target them now, but if it wins initiative, it'll be out of that area. It's blinded, but it's heading towards where the arrow came from.
Okay, well, the speed is casting time 2. So,
well, we haven't rolled the initiative die yet. You just declare, and then we'll do that. What about JB? Pete?
I think I've met a new friend that all of my attention sort of needs to be on.
Okay. So you're going to continue to pincushion.
Remind me, did all 3 trolls get blinded?
Yeah. Yep.
Thinking now. And
that's dangerous.
Party, let me think about this. How would it work if I attempted to move silently towards the carriage and try to get Homeboy out of there? Because they can't see me, so if I'm moving silently, they can't hear me.
You could try to do that, but the troll is essentially is effectively owning the space in the door. You know what I mean? Like if we were talking mechanically, the troll is preventing the wizard from escaping the carriage.
Rude. All right.
By so that's why it's so dangerous. But yeah. So
all right, then we're just gonna murder, death, kill this troll in front of me.
Okay. And finally, Dom, what's Tucktron up to?
Oh, you know what he's up to. There's a troll on the ground in front of me, bringing the pain.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
All right, so let's go ahead and Luke, why don't you roll the die this time?
Yeah, not a problem. I rolled an 8.
Okay. So nobody goes on an 8, 9, 10. They go on a 10.
It is me.
And what do you roll again?
I go on a 10 as well.
8 on the die.
8 on the die, so we go on 10. Okay, all right. So, all right.
I go on 13.
Same.
But go ahead, Greyhawk. Spells first, because it's magic, then missile, then melee.
Okay. Reckless Dwemer.
Yeah!
With a fiery cube. So D100, see what funny thing happens at the same time. I'm using all my I can use spells that are not first level.
Are you all enjoying, David, how Greyhawk is advancing as much as I am? It's been really cool to watch.
Because I just don't have. I'm like, no, just wait.
This is funny as well.
Wizards are fun when you can survive. When you survive, and Greyhawk came very close to dying once. Very close.
Well, I almost died from a rock on I tripped on a rock and went unconscious.
That's right, when you were going to the wyvern.
I've got 23 hit points now.
Oh my god, you're a beast.
My hair grows 1 foot in length.
Your hair grows 1 foot in length.
My hair grows 1 foot in
That
length.
is awesome.
Love it. Free disguise spell.
Yeah.
Is it like your beard and mustache too? Is it all your hair?
The wizard has more HP than
my
me.
hair. It grows 1 foot in length. So
his nose hair is a foot longer.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Nah, let's make it.
I look like a troll now.
I kind of like the idea of his hair just grows like a foot longer, and it's like blowing in the breeze, like 80s hair rocker style, or there's like a strobe light on him or something like that as he's casting a spell.
I think we just discovered the origins of Bigfoot.
It's a wild mage running through the forest.
Exactly. They just can't get it right.
That's funny. All right,
and they both take 8 points of fire damage.
Boom.
As a streak of light flies between the two of them, explodes into a fiery cube.
Do they get any save or anything?
Oh, there is a save versus spell, save for half if they can get out of the way.
Well, I'm gonna say that actually they both made their saves, but I'm not going to make the save for the one that's at the wizard's door because he's deliberately trying to lock the door. He's not. Well, but
he's having minus to the save as well because they're both blind.
Oh, they don't see it. That's a really good point. God, I don't really feel like they would. Why would they know to dodge out of the way of it? It doesn't make any sense to me, but I guess they get -4 to their save. That's what I was forgetting there. So the first one did make a save on a net. I mean, the second one made a save on a net. We'll say, though, that you hit the one that is fighting the elf.
Okay.
So it's half on the other one?
Yeah, half. There's 8 and 4 fire.
Nice. Okay. All right, so boom, boom, boom. These two fireballs shoot out of Gray Ash's
Nice.
hands as his hair grows luxuriously long. And
Very strange.
all right, so that's at 10, and the one in front of you, Tuctrin, the troll in front of you, it's like growling. It pushes itself back up, sniffing in the air, smelling the disgusting stink of dwarf in front of it. As even though it's blind, it knows its enemy. So it's kind of it just stood up on its turn. The one on the wizard. Wait, would you guys roll on the die? An 8?
Yep.
Yeah.
An 8, yes.
Oh, okay. So actually, the wizard, the elf, is moving his hands around, and 3 silvery missiles fire from his fingertips, searing the troll in front of him. That would have been on 9, actually. So, wow, this is a good one. That's 9 and another 4. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points of damage. Wow. For magic missiles. And the troll definitely looks like it's hurting. Yeah, so on 10, but the one now attacks him back. Attacks the wizard back. Blind, even though he's blinded. It's a claw. Ooh, that's a claw. 14, 10. Echo of.
Don't ruin this wizard's life by how this magic missile will give you blind.
3. Oh God, he rips into the wizard. This is maybe not gonna be very good. 4 plus 4. 5, 11, 16. The wizard falls. He fought the elf falls to the ground. Collapsing as the troll hits him with his claw. That was at 10, and then the one rushes towards you, JB. Yeah, I guess it's rushing towards you as you've been pelting with arrows. Wow, I think that's going to hit even with a blind. That's a minus 19 on the die, so that's definitely going to hit. The 2 is not, and then the bite. JB, this is not looking good for you. The thing is like getting closer and closer and closer to you. Just imagine, like, you've seen like in the zombie movies where it's like, you just see it getting closer and closer and smelling into the air, looking for you desperately, and suddenly it whiffs with one of its claws, but somehow maybe it just like catches a little bit of the fabric, and it seems to pinpoint you as its nose goes up in the air, and the second claw rips into you, and he uses that to pull himself towards you and just bite into your side. And that is that's 7 from the claw. Oh, and he lucked out on the bite. I rolled a 1 on the die, so 5 on the bite. So 12 points of damage from the troll.
Ooh.
It ran up to you. That was lucky. I rolled low, actually. I rolled really low. Yeah, trolls are hard, man.
Yes.
Trolls are not easy.
My last character died to a load of trolls. So yes, trolls hard.
Trolls are hard, man. Well, Nulb is next. You know what I mean? It's this section is the same as the last section. All right, so
but we need 5 more players.
Yeah, that's the monster. Yeah, that's why it's like for 6 to 10 players, 6 to 10 characters, levels 1 through 7. That's what this module is. Okay, thanks for that, guys. That was 10, so 11, 12, 13, 14.
Tarkus.
Tarkus. Okay. Luke, what's Tarkus doing?
So he'll leap from his horse as he's coming past that one troll in the doorway and go at him.
All right.
Where's my magic button?
Before you roll. It's okay.
Okay, yeah. You were saying?
No, how did you do?
I'm AC 14.
Okay, well, I was saying something to you. I was trying to stop you from rolling, so I'm going to be very generous to you, let you roll again here. I was going to say, if you want, you can take advantage of the benefit of charging. In this case, you know the thing's not going to attack you, obviously, and charging would give you +2 to hit, but -2 penalty to your AC. But who cares? You're leaping off your horse. It's a fucking cool moment. I just imagine you're rushing up, leaping off your horse, and attacking with your sword. So you can take a +2. That'll give you a -2 penalty to your armor class. So it's your choice, but it seems very narratively appropriate. So
I think I've got the AC. I can do that. Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and re-roll now, and you get a +2, additional +2 to hit.
No, still failed. AC 11. Is this roll even being friendly to me?
I don't know. Are you rolling a D10? What are you rolling? I mean, you can use dice. You know that, Luke. You don't have to.
I don't have any, unfortunately. So I'm just using the character sheet roll to hit.
I don't even know what to say right now. Come on, guys. Let's put together a collection. We need to send something to Luke because this is not okay. I'm actually hurting inside right now. Actually,
I'm staring at my big collection of about 50 different dice.
It hurts me to not buy new dice anytime I go into a gaming shop, and I try not to look at dice because I know I'm going to want dice. I have multiple.
I've been looking into getting some more.
Never even opened because I bought them at the store. I'm like, these are awesome.
I do have a really nice bag of die. They're just stuck in Holland, and I've got no access to them.
Oh, fucking Holland. Okay. Mushroom strips, loads of weed, and the dice bag is now in Holland. All right, so let's get back to the game. That was at 14.
15.
Although it didn't work, now Tarkus stands side by side with the troll, perhaps deflecting its attention away from the unconscious elven wizard. Go ahead, Tuctrin. You're at 15.
Didn't somebody else have 15 as well?
JB had 15 as well.
All right, so we both got 15. So does it matter who goes first?
It doesn't.
Okay, I'm swinging at that troll in front of me.
And by the way, the troll that's in front of you has taken no damage. It's like fully fresh.
I know.
For now. Go ahead.
For now. So 13 plus 2. So that's a 17 total. So AC 0. I have a Thago 17.
Well, that'll do it for sure.
Sweet. All right. D8. 7. 11 points. On the first swing with the axe.
You want to do your second? You have two. Are you two-handing weapon, two-handing style, or 2 attacks?
I'm 2 attacks. I'm one in the shield, so I get 1, and then I'll get 2 next turn.
Right.
I don't have the second axe out right now.
Okay. Okay, and go ahead. Okay, so JB is currently in melee combat now. So without the specialization, we determined, right? Specialization gives you the point blank. What was the determination we made on the bow shooting? You cannot shoot in melee unless you have the specialization point blank. Is that what we're saying?
I believe so.
You have to be specialized in the bow to be able to fire in melee. I think that sounds fair.
And I'm just proficient.
Yeah. That's fine, though. Okay, so go ahead and what do you want to do in terms of the thing is now obviously fully engaged with you?
All right. Well, if I don't have enough room to draw back my bow, I'm going to have to pull out the daggers and do this the old-fashioned way.
I love it. Go ahead.
All right.
And begin to carve the meat.
Carving the meat.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed. All right, that is a 13. I don't have a.
That's going to hit for sure.
Okay. I was gonna
Yeah,
say I
it's
don't
still
have a-
covered. How long does the glitter dust last for? Considerable time, right, David?
4 rounds.
No, it was more than 4 rounds. It was
At least 4 rounds, though, so it's still on for sure.
yeah, it was 1d4 plus 1 per level, so it was like 3, 4, 5, 7 rounds.
Okay. This would be the we are in the 3rd round of it, so finishing up the 3rd round of it. So JB,
3 damage plus 1, so that's 4 damage.
All right. Are you dual wielding or just one-handing it?
I had them both out. Do I take them both now, or do I do?
Yeah, you do both of them now when you're dual wielding.
And this one is not a +1 dagger, so it's going to be just straight damage if I hit.
And your second is also, unless you have ambidexterity, I don't really remember, but it should be a -2 penalty to your second offhand
I
weapon
did not
because
take ambidexterity. So
technically -4, but it's -2 for you because you have a reaction adjustment.
okay. All right. So I rolled a 17, so that's -2 is 15, and plus whatever their penalty is. But I hit an AC of 3 straight up, so I think that still hits.
Yep. The glittering figure in front of you is an easy target. Plus, of course, it's large. This 8 feet tall, gangly thing of muscle.
And that I rolled a 2, so just straight up 2.
Okay.
2.
Okay, everybody make a perception check.
Oh lord.
Ooh, 12 on the dot.
9.
20.
Made it.
20.
20.
Oh no.
You did
I
not.
see everything.
The
Sorry, I
rain
was
was in
grabbing a
your
bottle of
eyes.
water. 9. I believe that's a pass.
Yep, that's going to do it. If you made your perception check, you notice that although you seem to be faring pretty well against these creatures, and they're blinded, and you've been making strikes, mighty blows against them, their wounds are not staying put, and they seem to be closing up. And in fact, even the one that has taken the most damage, the one who
Does fire not stop that?
fire does. The fire damage is not healing.
Oh, okay, yeah, I get it. They do be healing.
Yep. So
Yeah,
you notice
you
that.
know.
All right. So back around. Let's do declarations again. Or does anybody have a second attack? No. Let's get to declarations again here. Let's start this time with David. What's Greyash up to this round?
Magic Mikael.
What? Oh, okay, got it. Right.
Magic Missile.
All right.
Sorry.
And what about Pete? What's JB gonna do?
Well, upon seeing some of these wounds close, but noticing the thing is not looking at me because it still can't see, I'm going to silently creep out of melee range so I can actually get back to doing some decent damage.
Okay, so you're going to
Get myself to a safe distance where I can use my bow.
you're gonna sneak away.
I'm going to sneak away.
Okay. That sounds great. You know, in fact, what I'll do is I'll probably give you a move silently check to do that.
Okay.
Because if it can't see you and it can't hear you, I think you could potentially move away. That sounds good. What about Tuctrin?
I am going to pull out my second axe.
That's what I'm
seeing,
talking about.
Seeing the wounds closing, gotta go faster.
Yeah. All right, and then Luke, what's Tarkus going to do this round?
Stand ground and just keep swinging. Yeah, I'm not in range of anybody else to give them any kind of assist, so I'm trying to get to this mage and pick him up.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, the both the one that the mage was fighting, and you as well, and the one that JB was taking arrows to both look like they've taken quite a bit. Like there's wounds covering their bodies, but the wounds are all like mostly, you know. I think lightning counts like fire, though. Personally, I mean, I know it's electricity, but the burns, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that would heal back from a troll?
Electricity would do scorching damage, and scorching is a burn.
I think so too.
I would agree.
Okay, so it's the one that was hit by the wizard, the one that you're in toe to toe, or that Tarkus is toe to toe with, Luke. That one is healing back the least. It got hit by the fireball or the fire cube from Grey Ash, and also the lightning bolt. So it is actually taken considerable wounds that do not seem to be healing. All of its other wounds are fully healed, though. Really. But still, nevertheless, I mean, like, it's not healing beyond that, and it looks to be pretty hurt. All right. Did we get everybody? Yeah, we got everybody. Okay, so go ahead and roll the die this time, David. And I'll roll over here for these guys.
4.
4 on the die. So nobody goes on a 4, but anybody go on a 5? Magic missile.
I'm sneaking away. So
I
I'm
go
not sure
5
what that
magic
would get.
missile.
That would be a 1 for JB. So you're simultaneous. Well, spell goes first.
Mm. So this is, what is magic missile damage again?
1d4 plus 1 per missile.
Yeah, so 2 on the troll that's still attacking the mage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, it's not attacking the mage now. It seems to have turned its
God.
attention to your new companion.
I just did 10 damage to it.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's max damage.
That's good.
Oh, you only have 2? Yeah, that's right. You only have 2. That's awesome. Check in the text on that and see if that would be qualify as scorching damage as well.
This is missiles of magical energy.
I think it's pure
That's
magic
like-
damage.
Yeah, I don't think it's just magical. No, I wouldn't say so.
I don't think so either.
Creates 5 yeah, just magical energy. It doesn't mention.
No, I don't think. I think it would heal. Okay, so let's see here. That was at 5, 6, 5. Also, now go ahead. So JB is going to try to sneak away. Go ahead and roll your move silently check.
I have exactly 50% chance.
Okay.
Nice.
41.
All right.
All right.
All right. So you sneak away. You use your round. You kind of move up the hill.
Okay.
And we'll say that there's like a boulder like up on the hill.
Mm-hmm.
And you just sort of sneak away from the chaos of battle. Kind of just slide off the side of your horse and like sneak away and up around the hill. And now you're looking down on it, doesn't know where you are. All right, so that was at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Tarkus.
11, 10. Okay. Go ahead, Luke. What's Tarkus do?
F1 monkey. Swing sword at big guy in front.
I love it. That's perfect.
I'm curious. Am I able to take a shot at the end of the round, or no?
No.
Okay.
No. But you're well hidden. In fact, I would give you the opportunity at a backstab from your current situation.
What? Fumble?
Oh no. No.
You're lucky
These
I don't
digital die are gonna kill me.
All right. Yeah, dude, you gotta get some real dice. I mean, there's got to be some dice.
I'll pick some up off.
Aren't
Cass
you like
when
you're
I have the chance.
exactly? That's what I was gonna say, man. Chris, get Chris to do it. All right. So so you eagerly move forward, and because of the awkwardness. So when the troll ripped open the door, like there's a little mini staircase that can be sort of folded out. The steps that would lead into the carriage, and that got sort of knocked weirdly askew, and kind of stuck in the mud. And as you were charging up, you just tripped right into it. Let's say 50% chance you lose your sword, 50% chance you fall to the ground. So let's see here. I'll let you roll. You go ahead and roll a percentile.
Oh, okay. If this goes bad,
well, it's already
then I'm
going
switching
bad.
over to the Discord. 41.
All right, so you lose your sword. Your sword goes flying from your hand.
Okay.
Clangs up against the side of the carriage and sticks in the mud. Okay, so that was at 10. 11.
I'm at 11.
They're at 11 as well.
God, we keep Simon with these things.
I know, it's pretty funny. All right, so go ahead, Tucktrin, though. You can go ahead first.
All right. So it's an 8. So -1 AC.
Yeah, that'll do it. They're covered in glitter dust still, so.
Oh, did that give me a bonus?
Their AC's 8, so they're easy to see because they're like literally sparkling in the.
All right, so that's 9 damage.
Jeez, okay.
On the first attack, and then my offhand. So that's a 10 plus 2 is 12 AC. Yep, -3.
That'll do it. Yeah.
That high AC, you know. So that one's 9 damage as well.
All right, you're hacking it to pieces.
Boom, boom.
And it's crazy because like instantly you can see like the wounds just start to close up a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's just.
Hope I'm gaining some ground.
You definitely are, but it's also like it's frustrating, you know. All right, so that was at 11, and it's at 11 as well. So as you're doing that, it's like clawing back at you. You're in this devastating pitched battle between a short, bulky, muscular terror and a long, lanky, muscular terror. That first claw misses badly, and the second claw as well. In fact, you're not getting that die rolled again for you because I'm gonna this die right here. This is the magic. Well, that's probably gonna do it. All right, so that
is it considered evil?
Yeah,
it gets another -2.
Okay,
because my protect from evil spell.
Man, -6, so that would be a 10. No, that's not gonna probably do it. That's it's only AC 3.
Hold on, you might have hit me.
Only AC 3.
I have AC 3 without my shield, so yes, you did hit me.
Oh, right. So the bite.
AC 2 with the shield, AC 3 without.
All right. So wildly moving around, it pushes aside that second axe and bites you for 8 points of damage.
Ouch, bastard.
And so Luke, as Tarkus stands there, his sword goes flying. The troll gives a wicked sneer, wicked look in its face. Even though it's covered in wounds, it sees weak, fresh prey standing in front of him. And oh wow, that was not a good roll there.
Depends on what you're asking.
Okay, so I rolled 3 attacks. And one of those attacks was a 15, which would definitely have hit you. But the others were both 1s. So with 2 separate dice. So he stumbles forward, and as he does, he manages to scrape a claw against you for 6 points of damage, but he has fallen at your feet. Sort of like essentially right next to where your sword lies, or where your sword is sticking out of the mud. As he's sort of scrabbling and trying to get himself up, but slipping wildly in the mud. That was at 11, and then there is the one that is on JB, or thinks it's on JB, and it goes about swinging wildly. And... oof. JB is nowhere to be found, but his horse is. And a claw rips into the horse's chest.
Terrible.
It was a rental.
It's a rental. That comes back around. That's right. You said it was a rental. 8 points of damage. That's too funny. That's right. It's a rental on credit. All right. So you take 8 points of damage. So it gets clawed. The horse does, and obviously that scares the shit out of it, and it goes racing away, or it attempts to go racing away. That was also at 11, 12, 13. Did we get everybody already? 14. Everybody's gone. Is that right?
I have, yeah.
Tuctrin, your second attack.
I have my last attack to do, and that's it. Ooh, I don't know. That might not hit. Let's see. 7 plus 4 is 11. Yep, it hit.
All right.
That ADC is just helping. Let's put it that way. For 15.
Oh my god.
That is my max damage roll. It's the first 8 I've rolled.
Into it, and you see the creature just stumble, and it looks up at you, and it just raises its head, and it gives you this wicked smile. You can't even see. It's just like orbs are just covered in this stuff.
Right.
But it just kind of looks in your general direction. It's almost more terrifying. Its mouth is just like a gape, and of course it has a chunk of flesh in its claws, and it just goes and just licks it as it looks at you, even though it's covered in all these wounds. And as it does that, as it stands up straight, you can see several of its wounds begin to knit back together. We're back around to the top of the round, so let's go ahead and declare once more.
What will kill these damn things? My character's never seen a troll before, so.
Of course, the one that stands toe to toe with Tarkus. None of that.
He doesn't stand.
Oh yeah, false. That's lying on the ground, scrabbling around. His wounds are not healing. It's taken a lightning bolt, and it's taken this fire, and it is not standing. It is not. Those wounds aren't healing. So it seems pretty severely injured. All right, so let's declare again, and we will start this time with Pete. What is JB doing this round?
We are going to keep on attacking that same troll from a distance and going to attempt a backstab on it with my arrows.
Right. Yeah, okay. Don't make any roll yet here. Let's see. And what about Tuctrin? Dom, what's he going to do this round?
Do the same. I think I'm making progress.
You're close. You feel like you're close.
I also don't know what else to do to kill this thing.
I just hope I win initiative. What about Tarkus, Luke? What's Tarkus up to?
Tarkus is going to have to fumble around and find his sword. But at the same time, he's going to whistle his horse because he's got an idea.
Well, you see your sword. It's literally sticking out of the mud.
Well,
it's
okay.
Sticking out of the mud in the middle of a battlefield from every movie you've ever seen. It's wobbling there in the rain. You can see, I don't know if there's a ribbon on the end of it, but if there is, it'd be fluttering in the breeze.
Yes. I'm gonna whistle my horse because I want to get into my sack and grab a torch.
I mean, your horse is essentially right there. It's milling right
about.
Well,
yeah, so. It would be because it's a well-trained horse, but
yeah. All right, yeah, you can easily do that. Yeah, okay. And then what about Grash, David? What's he up to?
Does my Staff of Striking do 1d6 plus 3 without using charges, or does he always use charges?
I believe every single time you use it, it uses at least one charge. It's plus 1.
Okay.
It takes 1 charge. If to
I
me, it's not
didn't-
entirely clear though. It's not. It doesn't use a charge unless you hit with it.
Hmm.
And I believe, and I think you can choose the expenditure of charges after you hit. I could be wrong about that, but I think that is right.
Okay.
That's
I
a
didn't.
powerful tool.
Apparently, I never wrote it down because I'm.
It's
Not smart.
not. It is powerful, but it's really like it's a staff. Okay, here. Let's see here. Yeah, it says it's cause 1d6 plus 3 points of damage when a hit is scored. This expends a charge. If 2 charges are expended, but bonus damage is doubled, plus 6. If 3 charges are expended, bonus damage is tripled, plus 9. So you have to expend charges if it hits, but it's only 1 charge that you have to expend, and you can expend up to 3.
Do you remember how many it had
11.
left?
And at 11.
11.
Because he hit 3 times. He had started with 20. He hit you guys 3 times and maximized damage each time. So he used 9
course he
charges
did.
during the battle.
Oh, I know.
I know that 1d6 plus 9. And he was dual wielding. He had a +2 evil mace in his other +1 plus what was it? +1 +2 versus humans mace.
Hmm. Is
Versus
the one
good-
that's
versus good
attacking the
creatures.
mage still up?
Yeah.
He's still
He's not
up.
attacking the mage though. He's right now he's attacking Tarkus, who's standing there. Well, he's not really attacking Tarkus. Actually, he's slapping around in the mud trying to get himself up off the ground.
Tell you what, I'm gonna try using the longbow, but see how well that goes for me.
Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and roll initiative then. I believe it's JB's turn to roll the die.
All right.
Miscellaneous is +1 initiative, isn't it? Or is it 3?
Little money, little money.
What's up?
Miscellaneous action is what, +1 or +3? I know it's one
I
or the
believe it's
other.
+3. I am looking right here.
Okay.
I rolled a 4.
Mason, 4 No, that doesn't even say anything really.
I've got PHP.
I got the screen. I just don't see anything on here. It gives all the initiative modifiers, but doesn't say specifically. Hindered, tangle, climbing. No, that's not it. Foreign environment, plus miscellaneous magic things are all 3s. Waiting to. Oh, I mean, waiting is 1. I think most initiative, like a medium initiative modifier for natural weapons is 3. So we always default to 3 to do anything that's not like combat.
Yeah,
unless it's punching.
that's what we tend to do. When
It just
I'm with
simplifies
Cass,
things. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what exactly. Yeah, that's the way. All right, so so that would be initiative modifier of 3. Oh, so what was on the die roll?
4.
4. All right, so 5, 6, 7. I know Tarkus goes on
Yeah.
7.
So
from your-
yeah, I'm going to recover a torch from my stow pouch on my horse. An attempt to light it. I'm going to be vulnerable
okay,
this
here's
whole
this.
time.
I'll let you.
Yeah.
I'll let you attempt to write it. I'll light it if you want to rush, because normally you'd just be able to pull it, and you'd have to light it next time. But I'll let you light it and pull it in the same round. But you have to make a dex check, and if you don't, you fumble
Oh
one
god,
items
Oh,
into the
boy.
mud.
my dex is not special. No, I'll wait till next round to try and light
You can
it.
be careful, or you can rush. Okay.
I've got the AC to just tank rounds.
Well, and
It's
plus,
okay.
they are still litter dusted.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that is okay. So that was what 7, and then 8. 8. Okay, they go on 8. Yay! Do. Huzzah! All right.
Terrible.
So, let's start by being mean. Okay, I'm just gonna be really mean here, guys. Everybody out there that might be watching this, I'm about to be really fucking mean right now.
It's going down.
Why?
Rips JB's horse apart, tearing its head from its body, its spine whipping in the rain, blood splattering everywhere. Everybody nearby is drenched in the blood of JB's rental.
Why?
It might have been a rental, but surely the insurance that JB purchased didn't cover this kind of damage.
That's right. We're not going back to Hommlet.
You should have elected for the troll.
And don't call me Shirley.
Throws the head to the ground and sniffs in the air. The other troll that is on the ground, and flopping around, manages to right itself by grabbing a claw onto the side of the carriage, pulling himself up once again, righting the carriage. Actually, as he pulls himself up, the carriage shakes violently, and he gets himself to his feet. He's kind of still, searching around for prey, and then finally the third one on you, Tuctrin. I'm disappointed in my dice tonight. I feel like I need something different.
Now the dice can keep doing that. It's okay.
You're getting a metal die tonight, my friend.
Oh, you bring out the metal?
Mm-hmm. This is a big metal die.
Oof.
I feel like Tuctrin needs us here.
No, I don't.
That's a 5 on the first roll. That's not going to do it with that first claw. A 10 is probably still not going to do it. 6. Nope, that's AC 7. I don't like this die right now.
Yes.
Oh, but that is a 19 on the bite. A 19 on the bite.
Oh, bitch.
That's what you get for mocking it. You're like, yes, I love it. So it's once again somehow manages to, and max damage, 16 points of damage as it just bites into you.
Fuck.
It's bigger than you, so it just like goes like, and it just takes a chunk out of the side of your head. You just like it's break, kind of like gets around, denting in your helmet. You just feel it like pressing into the side of your head.
I am bleeding profusely as I'm struggling against the weight of this thing.
All right, so that actually does it for them. That was at 8 and then 9. 10.
10. I'm at 10.
Do it.
I'm starting to reconsider this choice as my friend's getting his head bitten off, but
that's why we declare it. That's why we declare beforehand.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna shoot the bow I've picked up a while back from the moat house from our departed friend at the one that's just got up, I guess.
Yeah.
The one that was attacking the mage.
Not in melee either. It's not in melee, so he's free. No penalties there.
So that is 13 minus 5, then plus 4. So 12.
13
Echo.
minus 5 plus 4.
So I'm not proficient, so it's minus 5, but it's still blind, so it's like...
Okay, 13, you're not proficient. Minus 5, that's 8. What's your dex bonus?
Nothing.
You have nothing, so okay, so that's 8. Its AC is 8.
Okay.
Because it's
so
4. It's a minus
blind?
4 to its AC.
Oh, it's 8. Oh, so I hit it.
Its AC is 8. You don't get the bonus in 2 directions. It's plus 4 to hit. It's minus 4 to hit. It's minus 4 to its. It has a penalty of 4 to its AC. So its AC is 8. You have an 8 on your die essentially, because you're minus 5. So you need to get up to a 12. You need 4 more plus 4 more at least to get there.
Okay, no.
I think your THACO's still 20 too. Is there still 20 THACO
Yeah.
as well? Yeah. No, you don't hit. You fire off. You do get 2 attacks though this round. But yeah, your second attack comes at the end of the round. All right. So that was at. What was that at?
That was
10,
10.
11.
11
Me.
is JB.
Okay. Let's go ahead and we'll let JB go first because he's been doing this for fucking ever. Go ahead, JB.
Where did my dice go? There we go. All right. Ready, aim, fire.
Get it, JB.
Got one shot at this. One shot at this.
It's
That
much
is
more
a-
dramatic because my light is actually pulsing in my house right now. I have no idea why.
Nice.
Can you
That
see
is-
this, guys?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That is 15, so I hit a 3 AC. So
Oh,
I
that's
think I
gonna do it,
definitely hit
yeah.
This guy.
It's a backstab, right? This is
Yeah.
from your hidden spot. Finally, you moved yourself into position.
Yep.
So are you
At
I think
level-
this triple?
At level 5, it's times 3.
Booyah.
No, I'm
Nice.
sorry, level 6, but still times 3.
So I multiply it just like I think of it just like when you roll a nat 20 with a magic weapon. If you're using something magical, the bonus plus also multiplies, but otherwise it's just the die roll.
Okay. My bow is not magical, it's just my dagger. So this is just the die roll.
Mhm.
And that is a 7, so 21 points of damage.
All right. Go ahead and describe your kill.
Oh, that's so terrible.
The way you said that, man, if I didn't know what was going on with trolls, I would be very suspicious. All right, so I finally get into position. I see the troll tearing my rental apart. I am never going to get the deposit back, and that makes me very angry. I pull back on my arrows and I let it fire. It goes in through the top of his head and out his neck. He just sort of stops, falls over with whatever trolls do when they are dead but not dead.
All right. And go ahead, Tuctrin. Dom,
All right, so
bring the house here.
well, I've got 2 this round. All right.
Which is 3, you mean, right?
13, 14, no, 2 attacks. I had 3 attacks last round, so it's 2 this round.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep. Okay, 13, 14, 15, 17, AC 0
You know that hits, man.
for 13 on the first one. So basically, he's like chomped over my head. So I'm kind of doing this.
Describe your kill?
Oh, okay. Well, it's chomped on top of my head, so it's huge. So I can't really fight it head on. So I'm just kind of like swinging like this with my axes, and I just kind of catch it in the side of the neck, and I hit it, and it kind of falls down. And then because I have 2 attacks, I actually want to take my second one and behead it.
I
you say
figured
it
as
keeps-
much. Yeah,
It
yeah,
keeps
yeah.
healing, so
Just go ahead and roll the damage. Yeah, just go ahead and
Yeah.
roll the damage. Yeah, just to see how negative it
5
gets.
plus 6, 11.
It's very negative. It'll lie down for a minute.
Yeah, it's very dead. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna hack it till the head comes off.
All right, so that does it for that one. That's everybody's attacks, right?
That's all mine.
So I got another attack. I can fire at
Second
someone else out
attack?
there.
Oh, nice.
Do I get a backstab for aiming at someone else?
No, you
Okay.
only get the backstab essentially once. Now your
Okay.
position is given up.
But they can't see me. All right.
I
So
know,
they
but
can hear the whistle of your arrow.
they know where you
Oh my
came
God.
from.
All right. I'm
Yeah.
going to aim at the troll that is. Actually, no, it's just the one left now, isn't it?
It's the only one standing, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're aiming at the troll. And that is a 4, so that is definitely not a hit.
All right, it goes
Mhm.
flying into the hills beyond. JB's done much tonight, but that was not destined to be a hit. So that
That
Look how
makes this
nice I am.
that
I'm
makes this
giving
more
so-
weird because
I'm giving someone else the chance to finish the fight.
go ahead, Grey Ash.
You're welcome.
I rolled for my second shot and that 20. It's like the actual rogue misses the shot, and then I somehow hit with this non-proficient bow.
I was just reading a little bit about that in a really great article by the Angry GM, which I recommend to everybody. The Angry GM is awesome.
What even dice is this? D8?
Yeah, it's a D8, so...
I rolled a D8 in my life. I'll roll 2 then. 9.
9 total. Okay.
9.
This one does not fall over.
This one does not fall, no. All right, so we are back around to declarations of initiative, and so the troll, like, you hit it with the arrow, and it, like, you hit it in a vital spot, and we'll say it's in its gut, right? And it, like, pulls out the arrow, and like, this hunk of, like, meat goes flying out. Some chunks of something it ate before just, like, drop to the ground. It's this
bit of horse,
and a bit of horse goes plopping out of its belly. And then, like, you can see, like, some of its wounds start to, like, heal up, and it's kind of, like, looking around. And as it does, it goes like this. It takes its hand like this, and you can see, like, the glitter dust starts flaking off of its skin, falling down. As the magic dissolves away from its body, falling away. And although it is wounded severely, you can see, like, some of its wounds still stand firm, and it's just like it takes a step forward and it looks around at all of you, and it looks up into the open doorway at the elf lying on the ground and kind of gives a smile. All right, so let's do declarations here, and I think JB was first last time, so let's start with Dom. Tell us what Tuctrin is going to do.
Okay, so the one that I was fighting, is it completely beheaded, or is it still hanging on? Like, if there's bone or tissue connecting the head to the body, I'm hacking until that thing is completely apart.
Okay, so, like,
I've never seen anything heal before as a character, so he's like, no, I mean, like, he's wigging out, kind of.
So, like, it inexplicably, there's something strange. It's like you hack the head from the body, right? And then you, like, you're the ground, and you see like little pools of blood, like, amongst the water, like, start, like, going, like the blobs of blood,
like Terminator 2. They start coming together,
and, like, they connect. The blood connects together. The severed, decapitated head from the troll's body, and you can see, like, then as you're looking at it, you're just looking down at it. It's fascinating. As, like, it looks like you can see, like, veins and, like, arteries and stuff.
Would kicking the head off the side of the hill be like my whole turn?
I mean, you can just, like, pick up the head because you were, like, hacking at it and just, like, whack.
Yeah, I'll punt that mug off the hillside.
I'd give you one other attack, but it'd have to be a ranged attack. I would say that would take all your movement.
Okay.
You feel good about that?
Yes. So can I do that and cast a healing spell on myself instead of making a range attack?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
I will do that.
Okay, that's what you're going to declare.
Action. So right, I'll look up the casting time of the healing spell because I don't know it off the top of my head.
I think it's 5 if it's Cure Light, but I don't know.
It's going to be the second level version, which I think is still 5.
Cure Moderate, yeah. Luke, what's Tarkus going to do?
Tarkus is going to light this torch.
All right, and David Grash has just made probably the most grand arrow shot of life. You're like, I mean, it's mesmerizing almost. I mean, what you just did with that bow. It's like you're like, place the bow, you put the arrow right perfectly against your chin that just flew off, It flew through all of the thick drops of rain and pierced it, but you also know that was a very lucky shot. What would you like to do this time?
Do I know it's very like maybe I'm filled with overconfidence.
You know you don't know how to use that bow. I mean, like, you did a good job, and maybe you do feel confident, but you also know that you have no training in it. You're like, maybe this is easier than I thought it was, but you still also know that you have no training in it, you know? But whatever you choose. I mean, you can pretend.
I don't really know what else I can do apart from the staff.
Up to you. I mean, if you want to check with your bow, go for it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going with the bow, and hope like it'll do something while everyone else does more.
All right, and then what about? Yeah, we're not rolling just yet. And Pete, what's JB gonna do?
Can I reroll?
Arrows. We're still firing at this one troll that's still up.
Okay, so there's one last troll. All right, so let's go ahead and Dom. Thank you. I feel blessed that it's your turn to roll initiative because it might make.
Of course you do. Okay, mighty D10. Do not roll the 10. Do not roll the 10. It's a 6.
That's not bad. Not bad.
It's a middle of the road for me. It's good. Okay.
Could be worse. And for you, it's good. Like, that's like on the high end. All right, so let's go ahead and get started then. That was a 6 on the die. 6, 7, 8, 9. Luke,
my torch is lit.
Torch is lit.
The beacon is lit.
It's kind of cool though. Like in the middle of all of this, in the dark and stormy night, this torch ignites safely because Tarkus took his time.
Hey.
Yeah, who even are you?
That is at 9, and at 10, its turn.
Oh.
It leaps onto the body of the fallen elf. That opens itself up to an attack of opportunity. Who's near it?
Tarkus.
Unfortunately, not me.
My
Tarkus
bow.
is. No, only an attack of opportunity is only when you go like near somebody. So Tarkus, I will give you an attack with the torch as it moves by you to go towards the elf.
Okay. Can you make channels in the Discord?
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, could you make a dice box? Because I'd rather use that dice box than roll 20.
I have a dice box actually. Let's see here. It is if you go to, it's called Deus Ex Machina.
Oh.
I can't get. It's frozen for me. Yeah, it's in Rob's games, and it is Deus Ex Machina.
It must be hidden for me then, because I don't see it.
Oh, you know what? Chris did that to my stuff, and I don't understand how he did that. So I will show it to you. Oh Lord, Discord is not happy that I'm trying to do all of this right now. That's okay. But I'll get this really.
Well, I'll drop it in the Temple of Elemental Evil channel for now.
Okay. Let's see. Everybody should be able to see it in moments.
Oh, what am I rolling? I'm rolling to attack, so it's 1d20.
Did you get it? Do you see the channel now? You should.
I do, yes.
Okay.
I shall.
It's exclamation R space.
Thank you.
Let's see if my Discord fails you as well.
Hey, I rolled 7. Meaning I hit a solid AC 11.
It's a shame. You go with your torch and you thrust it at the creature. But it's just too quick for you. As it leaps under the body of the fallen elf, And this could be bad. That's gonna hit. 5. That's gonna hit. It rips the elf to pieces. Killing him. Rips out his throat. Tears the body to pieces. And actually rips the head off. And you can just rips the head off. The spine is dangling from its body. It's still moving around. Showing the head with the eyes. The out towards you. And just, you know what? Tarkus, Luke throws the head at Tarkus's feet. Mocking smile.
I may be a good cleric, but I can't fix that. Sorry.
Does Pattern Weave put that back together?
He is way better at cussing.
I don't think so.
All right, so that was at 10, 11?
11.
All right, Tuck turn.
So I cast my spell, basically. I throw he throws the head because he went before me.
Mm-hmm.
So that I look over and I have the head of his friend, and I just kind of look at him and go, Clangan is not impressed, and I chuck the head off the side of the hill, or I boot it off the side of the hill.
You boot it, yeah, you boot it.
And then I heal myself for 7 and for 5. So
and all of you look, and you just see this head just go All right, so that was at
11.
12, 13.
13 is JB.
Okay.
Fire 1.
Well, thing's standing there covered in the elf's blood, with a wicked smile on its face.
Man, if I cared about elves, I'd be really angry. That is an 18. That is a hit.
Mm-hmm. Flying down from above.
That's right. Death from above. That's me today. 8.
Oh, that's a good one. Hold on a sec. Yeah, okay, 8. Yeah, so the arrow sticks out of its chest and kind of smiles up at you as it looks down at the arrow. That was what, 13?
That was 13.
14? Is anybody else? Did everybody go? Everyone. Rash?
Yeah, I rolled early, and it was a 2.
No, you can re-roll. No. Go ahead and re-roll. It's fine.
7. No.
Nope. And JB, did you Pete? Did you do JB's second attack at the end of round attack?
Not yet.
All right, we can do that.
Waiting for the end of the round to see how that went. That is a 19.
All right, that's going to do it.
Close to double digits. Double damage, rather. But that's another 8. I like this die. It's working well for me tonight.
Describe your kill.
All right.
Ish.
So as the troll takes the first arrow in the chest, and you said he looks up at me and smiles, the second arrow hits him right between the eyes.
Plunges to the ground, falling in a pool of elven blood. As you see the bodies lying on the ground, though, you can see that their wounds are still healing, even as they lie seemingly dead on the ground.
Guys, what?
Meanwhile, Tarkus has a torch in hand and is standing right there.
Healing, those aren't. What happened to those?
Well, I have a theory. Take a look at this guy.
Behead them and burn them.
Cool. All right, I'm going to just start hacking away at that guy's head.
Yeah.
Tarkus
Now
drops a
you're
torch in the
speaking my
mouth of the one in front of him.
When all else fails, go for total destruction.
All right. So
Remember,
you get to the,
remember, men. There's no such thing as overkill. Just confirmed kill.
I like it.
You do the grisly deed of tearing apart these creatures, ensuring that their evil will never do what it had done by tearing apart this poor wizard, whose body lies in pieces around the battlefield now. His beautiful his beautiful cart, or his beautiful carriage, lying there. But then you notice something interesting. You notice that the elf's body begins to knit itself back together.
Hey, steal the ring of regeneration off his finger and put it on my finger. I don't know that that's a thing, so no.
Quick, do.
Tuctrin, is this
Quick, Grey Ash, grab his spell book before he comes back to life.
Tuctrin, is this thing a troll too? Should I be
If
headed and
he's-
burn it?
Should I be
It's already beheaded.
Tuctrin, is this a
Yeah.
troll too? Wink, wink. Should I
Yeah.
burn it?
I listen. I just have my axes out. This thing is coming back to life. I'm looking at it and say, be prepared to put it down if need be.
Can I quickly bind it so it's like arms and legs are bound as it's regenerating?
Yeah, so like as it starts to come back together, you manage to sort of bind it. Bind
Why is
the
everybody
elf.
so aggressive?
I just
I'll just
I don't trust this thing.
I'll pull the parts together and try and cure like wounds whilst everybody else is thinking of murder.
I'm not killing it. I'm just making sure they can't like immediately kill us the
Listen,
moment it can.
we have
see.
trust issues after the moat house. Okay.
It could, yeah. It could be a troll in disguise.
Would you trust someone that could heal from this?
No, it could be a paladin. Ew. I don't want to get any on me.
We used to have one of those.
Yeah, and look how much better we are at this now.
Fair. All right, so you know, it takes some time.
When it's bound, like while it's still healing, can
Well-
I like search the card to get any hints of like who this person is, what they're doing? Is there any anything?
Yeah, so like you look into the cart and
Oh, sweet! I healed him for a solid 1 HP. Poor guy.
Yo.
I'm only expending 1 cure light on him there.
so actually I have a house rule with magical healing, is that
Okay.
if you're in negatives and you get magical healing, you're healed to 1 or more.
Okay.
What I'm saying is the minimum that we'll go back to is a 1. I mean, you can still roll your heal, so you could go above 1, but it heals them to consciousness. Any magical healing.
Mhm.
But now
That's a
that
dodger.
it doesn't
Unless
work
he's
until the
dead.
guy's body, heart starts beating again, which takes a little bit. As the ring of regeneration works, it's magic. As I mentioned, he had silver things. That includes a snake or a ring that looks as though it is scaled, silver ring. And he does eventually. So Grey Ash, you look in and you see it's a traveling laboratory. What's inside of there? It's a living quarters. It is the court. It's more functional than it is grandiose, but it's a very nice carriage. And there's some living quarters, and then there's like a mobile laboratory, and you're kind of looking around things. And it's about this point that the healing, Tarkus moves over and lays his hand upon the elven man,
I'll exit the cart when that happens.
and he says, and he And he comes to and he
Did we
flutters his
put
eyes.
his head back first?
Hmm?
Did we put his head back first?
I pulled all his body parts together.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They all were merging together on their own.
Oh,
they were
that's right.
pulling themselves back together. But he lifts his head up and his eyes open and he says, "You have saved me. I didn't think." And he says, "Forgive me. I am Alman Ahena, and I owe you a debt." And let's go ahead and stop right
Cash
there.
would be nice.
It's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock, and I think that's perfect moment. You kind of just had this, and I want to give you guys XP and stuff.
Don't ask him who sent the trolls.
Well, we'll get to that. That'll be fun. We'll get to start with that next time. So first of all, the troll XP is 1,050 for each of you. 1,050 XP for each of you.
Even though I missed every single attack.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The hit dice are 18, 21.
Okay.
21 hit dice. 6 plus 6 for each one. So I round up when they have a plus on that. So it's 7 for each one. 21 hit dice. You know what? They would have random treasure on them. So let me get that information for you guys. It's always fun to get a little random treasure. Let me see what treasure type they have for their randoms. And I'll describe it as you find it. Let's see. Treasure type. Just see. There's no, wait a second. That's not right.
So it's that 1,000 XP each.
QND. 1,050.
Total.
That's just for the trolls. I'll give you,
Yeah,
and we'll say, I'm gonna give you everybody another 250 on top of that. So we'll say 1,300 for the session, for the role playing, all that good stuff. And let me get treasure tables. I think it's gonna be Q. D must be layer. I'm guessing. Q is 1d4 column 3 gems. So 1 to 4 gems. So 3d4 gems you find.
Dibs.
So, shocker. All right, so you're digging around, like you're pulling you're hacking the bodies to pieces. And amongst the trolls, as you're searching through them, you find a group of 9 gems, an array of 9 gems. Is anybody in a huge rush, or do you wanna like nerd out for a second and consult the Forgotten Realms Adventures gem?
Let's do
table. You guys,
I'm
you up for
in no
this?
rush at all.
Yeah,
Because these are pretty fun, actually. They're really cool. So, like, if you're out there watching, I'll just do this for these people. The Forgotten Realms Adventures book was outdated in terms of many, many things, in terms of like running adventures in the Forgotten Realms. But in the front of it, it has an incredible table. I believe it's Forgotten Realms Adventures, right? Yeah, it's got the tables for gems, the treasure tables on page 129. It has gems, a wide array of gems, and descriptions of them, and it even tells you if it has sort of like magical or alchemical properties. So it's really amazing. So we'll go ahead and roll all 9. Like, let's fucking do it. All right, so there's 4 of you. There's 9 total gems. That means each of you rolls 2. Okay. Each of you can roll 2, and I'll roll 1. For each one, I need each of you to roll 2 D100s. Okay, so everybody roll 2 D100s twice. Write those numbers down for me, or keep a count of them, and then you can tell me what they are, and I'll look them up and tell you what you find. All right, so once anybody's ready, I can start giving some information. I've got the table open here.
56.
I need both of yours.
Okay.
I need both die rolls.
You need them both together, or added up, or
no, together. So both side by side. So like if you roll a 56 and a 75, I want you to tell me 56 and 75.
56 and 95.
So it is a fancy stone. Who has appraisal?
I do.
Okay. Go ahead and roll appraisal.
And what is that? Intelligence?
I don't know. You have to look it up. Should be on your sheet.
I believe so.
I rolled a 3, so whatever it is, I've made it.
Okay, so you find 100 gold piece Olvan, which is a stone that's well prized amongst in Earth, or Oith is how it's pronounced, in Oith. Even though that sounds crazy to me.
Welcome to Oith.
It's soft but shatter resistant. It can be easily worked by unskilled cutters into large cabochons, is that how you pronounce it? Or faceted gems of pale to rich yellow hue. It's also known as amblygonite. That's ULVAEN, worth 100 gold pieces. Somebody else give me a pairing.
Excuse me.
All right, so we need 2 pairings each, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
First pairing is 2944.
It's a semi-precious stone. And you said 44?
Yep.
And it's a Urtios. That's IRTIOS. And let's see here. Wait, where's that? IRTIO. Let's see. Okay, there it is. It's out of alphabetical order. The common name for danburite, a hard, transparent gemstone that yields faceted gems of a middling size. Urtios are pale yellow or colorless and are found naturally as crystals or water-worn pebbles in stream beds or gravel deposits. All right, somebody another pairing?
88 and 4.
Ooh, 88. Okay, so this is a hard stone. So these are somewhat unique stones. These are pretty neat. Go ahead and roll me. And what was the second one?
4.
04.
04, yeah.
Nothing particularly interesting. It's a piece of alabaster. It's a brittle white form of gypsum. Its ornamental uses. It's carved into a little man.
Oh, you got a little man.
Just write this down. Somebody's gonna. Well, I'm gonna give you, Pete. I'm gonna give you 1 appraisal for all of these. You appraise all of these. This is worth 5 silver pieces. The one that Tucktrin gave me, or what Dom gave me, was worth 50. All right, somebody give me another pairing.
76.25.
76.25. It's a precious stone. And 25 is a garnet, a general class of crystals ranging from deep red. We'll say a deep red garnet. Normally isometric. It's isometric in shape with 18 to 24 faces to a typical crystal, although 36 and 48 faced crystals have been found. Garnets are found in Oith, in metamorphic rocks, marbles, and granites, all and are found in a number of locations throughout the north. And it is worth 500 gold pieces.
That's what I'm talking
Nice.
Give me another pairing.
97.
Ooh, okay. So this is a gem. And 97 is a Zendalore. This is worth 1,000 gold pieces. It's a gemstone presently unknown outside of Oith, where it is found as large egg. It's a large egg-shaped crystals in solidified. It's found in solidified lava flows. These mottled blue-white crystals are polished to a glassy finish, and most often seen as inlays and tiny chobacons in rings, earrings, and pendants. So it's a 3-inch diameter egg-shaped blue-white crystal. Wow,
Love it.
That's beautiful. All right, give me another pairing.
7712.
Nice.
This is a precious stone worth 500 gold pieces, and it is an euclase, Euclase. Perhaps I'm spelling that, saying that right. A rare gemstone found in small, readily cleavable crystals ranging from colorless to pale yellow, vivid yellow, pale green, and blue. Let's call them blue. The last two being the most prized. Valued samples will be blue euclase. So this is a valued sample worth 500 gold pieces. Give me another one.
51 and 13.
51 is a fancy stone worth 100 gold pieces, and
13.
13. Where's fancy? Fancy. 13 is amber. So we all know amber, but a golden fossilized resin, usually tumbled smooth and cut cabochon. I don't know this word. I'm gonna have to learn it. Amber is soft and brittle and often used as a good luck charm to ward off diseases and plague. Some amber contain other preserved fossils, such as primitive plants and insects. These variants are valued much higher in the realms, or in the we'll say in Oath. Amber pellets strung on thongs are used as a medium of trade by northern barbarians, but are graded among civilized men for their gem value. Oh, I want to say it has something in it. Let's say it has something in it, like an insect or something. What should we have? What should be in this amber? What do you think, Luke?
A cockroach.
A cockroach. There's a cockroach embedded in the amber. Okay. Well, I know, David, you have one more, right? And then I gotta roll mine.
211.
211.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that is a blue stone. It's worth 10 gold pieces. And it's a colloquial name for sodalite, which is rich blue in color and soft and brittle in nature. Sometimes bluestone has veins of pink, white, cream, and yellow and can be found in old and weathered rocky environments, such as places in the Forgotten Realms. So we're not going to read that. It is usually cut cabochon, polished, glassy, smooth, and carved without facets, or tumbled in barrels in gravel and sand. Rare, but very rarely is hard enough to be cut in facets. It's sometimes called ditroite. No, ditroit. Ditroit. Fuck it. I'm not even going to try. It's too late. Too late in the evening for me to figure that one out.
Just call it Detroit and move on.
Yeah, it's Detroit.
And I will roll one last one. Let's see here. That is a 97. All right, so gems. That's going to be worth 1,000 gold pieces. And
Dibs.
a Ravenar, spelled like Raven and then AR at the end, Ravenar. And that is a glossy black variety of tourmaline, also called Shoral, is highly valued in the north, less so in other lands where it is rare and carries little value. Ravenar is commonly used for inlay work on daggers, buckles, and the like. So that is what you have found. But we will leave it here as you stand before the elven wizard Alman Ehana, who says he owes you a debt for helping him. He is in front of his wagon, or in front of his carriage.
And currently tied up because
everybody
got scared.
Now, thank you everybody for out there for watching, listening, all of that kind of stuff. Like and subscribe. It's been, people are watching, and that's really great. We really appreciate that. I wanted to mention I have one week in August where I'm going to be gone, so we won't be able to play that week. So let's connect online and see when it works best in terms of when it might be best to play next, because might be next week actually. And in terms of a little bit of bookkeeping, let's keep working. Let's figure out what's going on with the moat house and all that stuff as we can. You know, it's not going to play a immediate role, but I just kind of want to get that out on paper. And then David, if you could just send me the extra spells that you learned, just so I have a sense.
I sent you 2 for consideration because they're pretty funky.
I love funky spells, you know that. I'll take a look at them though, and we'll talk about that. But guys, that was fun. I hope you guys had fun. I didn't expect this one long encounter, but trolls are always cool. It's fun to kill trolls.
Trolls hit hard because I was low.
That was good. It's a good introduction too. Like it's kind of a, oh, this is what the fucking next part of this module is.
Oh yeah,
it's not easy. You know what I mean? It's different. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Trolls,
all right, guys,
trolls
can't
in
wait.
D&D are just as difficult as trolls online.
Quite a while.
Just as difficult, but a lot less mentally abusive. By the way, has any of you guys seen? Are any of you fans of What We Do in the Shadows?
Yes.
The troll.
What is
troll? It's a troll, like What We Do in the Shadows. So it was a movie, and then they made a television show.
Imagine it's The Office, only it's a coven of vampires on Long Island or Staten Island.
Oh, okay.
That sounds interesting, actually.
But the thing is, it's hilarious.
It is,
but it's also fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like it's actually really good. They use like really good vampire archetypes and stuff. Like, so it's actually like a really good vampire show too.
All right, yeah, I've never heard of it.
But like, so they made a movie and then they made the show. The show has a totally different cast, just as good, if not. I actually think it's better than the movie. It's like it's gotten to be so good now.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, they have a troll at one point. They like every episode is sort of like an adventure that they go on, and they do deal with a troll. It's an internet troll, but it's still a gigantic guy. The troll. Have you seen this one, Pete?
Not yet. We're
okay.
We're trying to give it a few weeks for the new season, so we have a few to watch at a time.
No, this isn't a new one. This is from one of the old seasons.
Really?
Yeah.
I do not remember.
He turned the one that turns to stone in the sunlight.
Oh, that's right.
Now you remember. You guys should definitely watch it. But anyway, I got to get out of here, y'all. That was really fun. Thanks for playing, and
thanks for the game.
Yeah, thanks for playing,
absolutely.
and appreciate y'all, and we'll catch up soon.
Yep.
All right.
Later. All right, thanks everybody.